I'm Yoshi Lomax, superstar attorney at law and fugitive.
So, you're the famous Yoshi Lomax.
Probably more infamous. I'm on the run from the federal government for crimes that I didn't commit.
Gentlemen, I'm Deputy U.S. Marshal Sharon Starr. I'll be taking things from here.
Not to mention being on the hit list of at least 3 of Miami's major crime bosses.
I wanted to apologize in person for leaving so abruptly last night.
Welcome back.
That's Vladimir Kuznetsov, a Russian crime boss. He's been a suspect in over a dozen missing person cases.
I mean, I didn't get here to be this successful for doing things the American way.
I need a list of the jury for my case with Hanju.
Oh, really? What's that worth to you? Oh, my God, you're such a...
Mr. Santana is to be released upon processing.
So what do you know about Sheldon Chisholm?
What do you want to know about him?
I really need to know if you're going to take my case. I don't have time to play, Miss Lomax.
Money is not a problem. You know anything about his case?
It's being handled by agents in my field office.
I've learned that in this game of life, in order to win,
Ready to dance?
you gotta play dirty. You might look at me and see a beautiful, confident, successful woman.
Congratulations, counselor. Yet another win.
But underneath, I'm flawed. I'm broken. And I'm scared. So I have no choice but to run until I can find a way to clear my name.
Miss Lomax is now considered a fugitive of the United States. Catching fugitives is my business, which makes her my suspect. You and your associates are relieved.
Look, she killed one of our own.
But I will not give up.
All right, people, listen up. Get a picture of Miss Lomax out there so the public knows what she looks like.
I will not give in.
Okay. People, we got a game plan. Let's break and execute.
I will not get caught.
Time to go hunt.
Chastity, the social media influencer and rockstar killer. Maria, from Miami. And Lucy, aspiring actress. Sydney, hip-hop lover and writer, so I'm told. And my quiet one, Mackenzie. Well, hello ladies. I'm Bella. I have a question for everyone. Why do you think rich men cheat? Control.
I'm going home.
Don't go.
Attention.
You bring the total package to the table. You just need the right friends.
Are you my friend?
No, but you can be mine.
And power.
I stuck my neck out for you.
Thank you.
And I pulled the strings to get you onto this show.
Take all 3 away, and he becomes desperate.
So what's with the apples?
Well, it represents knowledge, wisdom, beauty, and power. Here, you will learn how to gain ownership of all.
I'm gonna send you the money for the ticket, and I already have your room set up at the Palms.
You do that, babe.
Because once you have possession of the apple, no man alive will have power over you.
You make it sound so easy.
Oh, it's not easy.
Brett, look, I'm sorry.
Save it! Save it!
I get no auditions.
I'm gonna stop you right there.
I get no callbacks.
I really need to get upstairs. They stole all my money.
I don't know who the fuck you think you are,
But you're no better than the rest of us.
Right now, they have a do not disturb until this afternoon. If they call you, great.
How is he gonna call me if he doesn't?
If not, charge it to the game.
Make no mistake, ladies. In order to succeed in this game, you must be willing to play it out till the very end.
This business is all types of savage.
What are you doing? But if you follow my blueprints, I guarantee you will become a millionaire within the next 3 years. Possibly way earlier. So, are you ready to take that step?
Another day, another dollar. Ain't about money, don't you holla. 100 miles and racing, and that money conversation be my only motivation, yeah.
Up, y'all, this is Rayon Lawrence, and you're watching Real Talk with the director.
Hey everyone, it's your girl Catherine Nunez, and you're watching Real Talk with the director and the counsel on the IE network.
Real Talk.
Hey, I'm Gina Lou, and you're listening to Real Talk with the director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hey, what's up? It's Logan Browning, and you're listening to Real Talk with the director on Dollhouse Radio.
Real Talk.
Hi, this is Alana De La Garza, and you're listening to Real Talk with the director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hi, I'm Diane Franklin from Better Off Dead and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures. You're listening to Real Talk with the director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hi, this is Monique Dupree, and you are watching Real Talk with the director on Blog Talk Radio.
Hey, I'm Stormy Maya, and you are listening to Real Talk with the director on Dollhouse Radio.
This is Vicky Judy. Orange is the new black, and I'm here with Real Talk.
Yo, what up? This is Jay Ellis, and you're watching Real Talk with the director on Dollhouse Radio. Keep it live.
Hi, I'm Frida Parks, and you're listening to Real Talk Radio with the director. Hey, I'm Issa Rae, and you're watching Real Talk with the director on Dollhouse Radio.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
And nothing less. What up? What up? Welcome to Real Talk with the director, the Jedi Council. I'm the director. Be with you for the next 120 minutes or so. And Real Talk's brought to you each and every Monday by B2S Media. And we broadcast live via the World Wide Web on youtube.com/IE Network TV and Twitter and the social network itself, Facebook, aka Meta. What's going on, people? Thanks again for coming back another Monday night. Chilling. You could be anywhere, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that. Shout out to our chat room, by the way, of course. Everybody holding it down, as you always do. Joseph Tanner's always holding down the chat room. What up, dog? John's in the building. What up? Yo, that's what he said. I hope this all is well and enjoyed your day. Yes, it was good. It was fine, man. You know, I haven't really been out much since I've been in Atlanta, but you know, we went and visited some friends and family and just kind of did a few things. You know what I mean? So it was good. Hope everyone's Thanksgiving was good. Do what y'all had to do. Hey, this was a mild one for us. We kind of just kept it mellow. You know, we didn't go ham. See what I did there? But we didn't go. We did. There was ham, made, but we didn't go. We didn't go too crazy with it this time. So that's why I didn't even get no patty pies, man. Who got patty pies? Did anybody get any Patti LaBelle sweet potato pie over Thanksgiving? That's what I want to know. Are those still even a thing? In Walmart? I think they're only sold exclusively at Walmart. I don't know. I was kind of in the mood for a patty pie a little bit. I was like, yo, what's good? Oh, he got what? Oh, Ralph got what? Okay. That's what's up. Shout out to my people over there, Worth a Billion, of course. Worth a Billion Apparel. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing a little commercial, little mom. I don't know what the hell to do, but anyway, do a little mileage for Worth a Billion Apparel. It's hoodie season, baby. It's hoodie season, and I got me Worth a Billion. Worth a Billion apparel, hooded sweatshirt. Go check them out. Just look them up. Worth a Billion apparel. Uh, they got some nice stuff, man. They got winter stuff. They got summer stuff. They got the little bathing suits for the ladies. It's nice. They got some. They be doing their thing, man. It's those my people, man. They always hold us down and give us stuff and you know contribute to our projects. As you saw at the top of the show, know your worth. By the way, this is why I wear this. This is a proclamation letting y'all know my worth. Know your worth. Um. Anyway, top of the show, you might have saw we play it every time, every week. Playing Dirty and Groupie, the blueprint of a self-made millionaire. Those are our two projects. Myself, my brother, and a host of others. Kiki Swinson, that we got coming out. Obviously, Playing Dirty, based on the best-selling novel by Kiki Swinson, and Groupie, based on real events, created and written and directed by the Clark brothers. And there's a host of other people that helped us create that beautiful situation. So check it out. It'll be on Tubi very soon. Next month, probably. It seems like we're gonna get our date soon. I think next month we'll have it out on Tubi, but it'll be coming soon. We're gonna let you know. So yeah, we got some stuff this week, man. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has went down. I mean, it went down sometime last month, but it aired this month on HBO Max. We didn't get a chance to talk about it last week. I'm gonna touch on it a little bit. Some of the inductees. It's a nice class, very nice class. I think Eurythmics, Dolly Parton, Eminem, Jimmy Iovine, Jimmy Jam, and Terry Lewis. That was beautiful. Inducted by none other than Janet Jackson. There's no one else that could have inducted. The only other person that could have inducted them is not alive. That would have been Prince. Other than that, there is no more perfect person. I don't know if there's ever a perfect person to induct another group of people. Well, Dr. Dre inducted Eminem. That's only right. But Janet inducting Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, and I thought I knew everything about Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, and it turns out that I don't. Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis has done some music for people that I had no idea. I did not know that they did that song for the Human League. I'm only human. I had no idea they did that song. Wow. So anyhow, we'll talk a little bit about that. Will Smith's new movie, Emancipation, directed by Antoine Fuqua. Are we here for it? Are we here for it? Are we ready for another Will Smith film? The funny thing is this, I could care less about the slap, as far as watching this film. Me personally, this is like slavery film fatigue, man. I can't take no more. I can't. Yeah. He said, yeah, that's that song exactly. I didn't know that I didn't know Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis even worked with the Human League. I didn't know that at all. And I know he worked with George Michael. There's a lot of them I knew about, but I was like, whoa, that one threw me back a little bit. I mean, obviously they did. What was that group? Man, I can't think of the name. I'll think of it a little bit down the line. But yeah, back to the Will Smith movie. I don't know, man. We'll talk more about it. But right now, I'm like fatigued with slavery movies. I've never liked them anyway, and I just think too many slavery backdrop. Even if it's not a slavery movie, it's got that slavery backdrop of the movie. I'm tired of it. I'm just tired. So I don't know if I'm going to be checking this one out. We'll see. Yeah, I don't like slavery movies anyway. So, but it has nothing to do with the slap. I still think what he did was wrong, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to be like, I'm not watching Will Smith because he slapped somebody. No, I'm not doing all of that. he ruined the Oscars. Nah, I won't be doing all that. But that's not the reason. Trust me, if Will Smith makes a film that I'm interested in, I will watch it. That's it. Um, then of course the Elite Eight. We are now at the Elite Eight of our tournament for the TV's hottest female character of all time. We did it in a tournament in a field of 64. We have now narrowed it down to 8, to the Elite Eight hopefuls that will battle it out this week as we will finally pick a final four. The final four will go into battle and we'll go to the final two and we will have a winner. We'll have a winner before the end of the year. That's for sure. We thank everybody that stuck along with us during the tournament, put in their input, put in their, what they thought. We appreciate that. So we're winding it down for y'all and we'll get it popping. And that's it. Movie, trending topics and things that's going on. We'll get to that as well. Shout out to my brother Evan Hollywood, of course, always doing his thing. Shout out to everybody. My man Rayon Lawrence, who gave us a shout out as you saw in the beginning. He's doing his thing, man. He's going to be on BMF starting top of the year. We're definitely gonna have him on the show. We're planning, I'm planning like a end of the year show. We may have a bunch of guests come on, a bunch of guests from the past. I'm trying to get all that squared away now. So our end of the year show, is an interesting one, and we want to talk about some things and check in with some friends and friends of the show, bring back some people, and just kind of have a nice, fun show. Definitely got to get Rayon in here before his show premieres. Show will be on BMF. And if we can't get him in by the end of the year, then we'll try to get him in that Monday, because the Sunday before that, the show will premiere. So definitely doing this thing. Shout out to him, man. Very proud of that dude. I've been working with him and known him since, I want to say 2004 or something like that. Been a while. It's been a while. And the man's never never fronted on us. He's done his thing. I saw him rise up. He's rising up through the ranks, and I'm very proud to see him do a lot of stuff. The man never fronted on us. Never, always, remain himself, and that's important. That's very important when you dealing in a business in an industry that's so easily be corrupted or easily be just change, right? It changes you sometimes if you let it. But yeah, not to make it a whole dark thing, but I'm just saying, it is what it is. So shout out to him. Yeah, and we're gonna get going, man. We got, Ralph is out there. Let me just hit this weekend recap. Brought to you by BoxOfficeMojo.com for the weekend of November 25th to the 27th. Number 5, The Menu. That's that film with like a star-studded film, a lot of people in it. Didn't do too well at the box office. These movies don't seem to do well when it has like an ensemble cast of a lot of actors that you may know, and it's just like weird. But that didn't do it. But it's at 33 million now worldwide. Number 4 is Devotion, 5.9 million. Devotion's in there. It just looks like it premiered at 9. It's got 9 million right now, so not bad. No, it didn't just premiere. It premiered, I think, release date was the 23rd, so that was probably last week. So at 9 million. Number 3 is what is this? Glass Onion. It's the Knives Out. The Knives Out sequel. So that is at 13 million right now. It came out last week as well. Doing its thing. Number 2 is Strange World. $12.2 million. And right now it's at 28 million worldwide. And number 1, yet again, with $45.6 million over this weekend. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, which now brings that to 600 worldwide, $676 million. So it's really still doing its numbers. That I think the weekend, I mean the holiday, obviously that was a big push. They did pretty nice over this holiday, 45 million. So that's what's up, and it's been out for a few weeks since November 11th, couple weeks. So we'll see how this. I think this is gonna chug right along up into Avatar, right into Christmas weekend. Um, which I predicted. I think all of us predicted that Avatar is just. I think Avatar is gonna flop. The Avatar 2 by the time it gets to when it comes out. Anywho, that is your weekend recap for the weekend of November 25th through the 27th on boxofficemojo.com. So we're back here. You're there. I'm here. And you're watching Real Talk with the director and the Jedi Council. I am the director. And I brought my Jedi Council with me. At least one half of them. Don't believe me? Well, guess what? Here he is. Ralph Hughes in the building, bruh.
Excuse me. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? How's everybody's Thanksgiving? And you know what, man? That sweet potato pie was really.
You had that patty pie, bro. I
really
didn't.
good.
I didn't have sweet potato pie.
Yeah.
Patty. I didn't have the
Yeah.
sweet potato pie
She
this
said,
year.
"Say my name, Patty."
Yeah, bro. I was thinking about it. Where we went, the person who cooked, they made like a sweet potato souffle type of deal, or casserole, or whatever you want to call it. It was good. It just made me want pie though. After eating it, I'm like, yeah, I need some pie crust to dump this in. I'll just go give me a raw pie crust, anything. Let me just dump something. But other than that, you know what I should have did? I should have picked up some graham crackers. That's what I should have did. That's the hood. That's the poor man's sweet potato pie. Take some graham crackers and put some sweet potato on it. Push it together. So
that's shame.
Yeah, I've done it before. It's pretty good. It's really good, actually. Matter of fact, if you take some graham cracker, put some sweet potato, whether it's sweet potato souffle or anything like that on it, you know what I'm saying? Add a little marshmallow. It's good, man. Make a sandwich. So it'd be like a sweet potato s'mores type of deal. Really cool. That's what you do when you ain't got no money and you just trying to make up something. Or even if you do have money, you just don't have the time to make those sweet potato pie. It takes a long time to make it yourself. Or take a trip to Walmart and get a patty pie. So
a patty.
Yeah, man. So
I enjoyed it.
Yeah. So the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I know you had watched it a couple weeks ago, right? And you was talking about it.
I did.
Just a nice class.
I did watch it. It was a really good show.
Yeah, it was. This was a nice class.
You know?
This is a good class. I agree. Good class this year.
I was definitely.
Party,
the only disappointment. The only disappointment that I kind of thought was Eminem because he didn't do "Lose Yourself." He didn't do that on stage. He did some other stuff, but he didn't. I think that's like the one song that everybody's got that one song that you just gotta do.
It's a great song. I'm surprised he didn't do that. He did like I'm Not Afraid. He did a couple other ones that was big for him. I'm surprised he didn't do Lose Yourself. He did Stan. He did like a little bit of Stan. Another big one. He did Rap God. I thought it was appropriate for him to have done Rap God because being inducted into the Hall of Fame and being the biggest rap seller ever. I think Rap God is appropriate song to do being inducted. And he does so much verbal gymnastics in that song. it's appropriate to do that song for sure. But I agree with you. I wish he would have did "Lose Yourself." He should have. He should have. I would have took out. There was another one that he did that kind of reminds you of like a "Lose Yourself," but I would have took that one out and did "Lose Yourself." That's what I would have did.
Exactly.
Yeah. So. And by the way, we're not torturing my daughter over here. She's just watching like the Lion King. She's very emotional. My daughter's so you hear her screaming. She's an emotional creature. She sees things like she doesn't like violence. So she could be watching the Lion King, which she's actually watching right now, and she'll see like Mufasa get thrown off the hill, and she'll start crying. Like she gets like she doesn't like violence at all. So she just really loses it. Yeah. So if you hear her scream in the background, that's probably because Simba or somebody done did something and got in trouble, and she's she's getting scared for them. So she's actually watching part 2, Lion King Part 2, Simba's Pride, which actually wasn't bad. I had never really watched that second one. I don't know if by the
I saw
time the
bits and
second,
pieces of it.
yeah, I think by the time the second one came out, my child who was watching the first one was probably older and just didn't watch it. I didn't watch it with my grandkids. I never watched it. It wasn't bad, and actually, they brought back a lot of the voice actors from the Lion King. They brought back
Yeah.
Matthew Broderick. They brought back. I'm not sure if that's the same woman who played Nala, who did Nala's voice in the first one. It sounded like her, but I'm not sure. They also brought back. Didn't they bring back Robert Guillaume? Was that him doing Rafiki? It sounded like him, unless it
Yeah.
was just
I think
somebody.
I
Yeah.
think I think everybody that was in the movie is the same person from the original.
Right. And then except that James Earl Jones really didn't have any part. It was like a quick Mufasa, like you son, remember me. I don't know if that was a archive or if that was like he just came back to say, son, remember me, or something like that. I don't know. That's a quick check for him to just come and say, Simba, remember me. So they might have had that as an archive or something. Timon and
Probably
Pumbaa,
so.
same voice. Timon and Pumbaa is the same voice. The only one that sounded different to me was Zazu, the little bird. I don't think that was the same guy who did Zazu. That's the only person that sounded different to me. So yeah, I don't know. I didn't get a chance to see the credits, but what's John saying over here? He says Hall of Fame is racist. Rock was stolen from whitewash. Yeah, we know. The funny thing is this: now Eminem's the greatest selling rapper. Talk about whitewash. Well, I mean, he earned that though, John. In all respect,
That's
he earned.
earned.
He earned. I get what you're saying, and you're right. Rock and roll was stolen from black people. We know that. That's why I ain't mad when they induct black people because they should. But I agree with you to a degree. But Eminem earned his. First of all, he earned his respect in the industry. He earned his respect amongst his peers. You saw LL right out there rocking with him. He earned his respect as a hip hop artist. The fact that he sold. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you right now. The fact that he sold so much is because he's white. But that's because what people don't realize is there are a lot of white people that love hip hop music. And now think about it. It's just like if you like rock music and you're black, and then Lenny Kravitz is out there and he's playing. You feel like, oh, okay, I finally got somebody I can resonate with, and I love this genre. Even though, like we said, we know that original rock and roll was created by black people. But so the point is, or if anything that you normally don't see black people, you see when we first started seeing black quarterbacks in the NFL. We root for every black quarterback. Whether what team he's on, it doesn't matter. There's a black quarterback out there, we're rooting for him because it's rare. So, of course, Eminem, it was pretty rare to be a dope MC. Not saying that there's no dope white MCs out there, but it was rare at the moment when he came out. And
Hey,
the fact that,
I'm
yeah,
gonna say beyond the BC Boys, and, and not
third
for nothing,
base,
Big. I
MC
gotta
Search,
give Eminem a shout out. That third, that list rappers that he was putting people down in the. You're like, oh damn, I forgot about them. He blasted almost everybody that needed to get shout out that have been forgotten and have fallen through the cracks. Man, shout out to Eminem for that
yeah.
alone.
Well, see, this is the thing, though.
Because like I said,
The whole thing is
what you
Eminem
gonna say?
is
Vanilla Ice thing is a
no, no. You can't say Vanilla. Vanilla Ice is not an MC. He's a rapper. He's not a hip hop artist. Eminem is a hip hop artist. He's an MC. There's a difference between a rapper and an MC. He is an MC, meaning he is part of the art of hip hop. He lives the art. He lived it. He walked it. That's what he did, right? He battled every day. He battled all the time. We know that, 8 Mile is based on his life. It's loosely based on his life or whatever you want to call it. But he battled like that. That's like, I say more than loosely based on it. I think it's heavily based on his life because he battled hard like that. But anyhow, my point is this. I get it when people say, oh, this and that, but Eminem to me deserves the accolades that he gets. And he only sold that much, yes, because he is white. And there's a lot of white hip hop fans. I mean, look at Public Enemy. You go to Public Enemy concert and go look at a Public Enemy concert. Most of the people out there are white. Surprisingly, you would never think that, but they are, and they always have been. It's been heavily white fan base. So they love the genre, they love the artist, and now here comes a man who looks like them, but he raps like the other artists that they meaning like as good. He's good. He can put together songs. He's lyrical. Just like he has all of the different skills, right? So I'm thinking, he is. I don't put him up there with whitewashing. He's not whitewashing. He's just a good artist. He's a really good artist. And yes, he has his novelty songs. Hi, my name is this, that, and yeah. They had to play the novelty card. Eminem, if he had it his way, he'd be doing underground hip hop all his life. But guess what? That's where people like Jimmy Iovine and Dr. Dre and all of them come into play, and they say, listen, we got to, you know what I'm saying? Because otherwise, Eminem was in this business for a while trying to get signed and stuff like that. Everyone knew he was nice, but it was like, yo, how do we market you?
Yeah.
How we market you? You're a white dude in a black man's art. Let's be honest. How do we market you without people calling you Vanilla Ice, even though we know you nicer than Vanilla Ice? But how do we market you? And that's what so they had to play that little bit of the novelty songs. And plus, Eminem is a character. He writes he's Slim Shady is a caricature of Marshall Mathers. You know what I'm saying? So he writes like that, and he's very creative with his writing. So I'm not gonna slight Eminem. Is Eminem just because he's the best selling artist? So what? There's a lot of people that are the best selling artists. At one point, Hammer was the best selling artist. At one point, Vanilla Ice was one of the best selling artists. At one point, Young MC was one of the best selling artists. Like, it happens. So because people support him, it is what it is. But throw all that stuff aside. Eminem can rock with the best of them when it comes to just rapping. If you'd be hard pressed to find many black individuals that can out rap Eminem. Let's be honest. It's the truth.
When he first came out, I didn't even like. I mean, John, I get because when he first came out, I was like, "Who is Eminem?
Yeah.
Why does he sound like a candy?"
Yeah.
But then I went to go see the Up in Smoke tour, right?
Mm.
And he was the second act at the Ice Cube. And I'm listening to this guy. I'm like, yo, this kid got talent. He
Mm.
was, and at the time he was in that everyone was in that beef with the same clown posse. But
Yeah.
the flow he was coming with and his delivery style, and
Mm-hmm.
even when they did what you only saw if you ever went to the Up and Smoke tour, they did an NWA union with Ray, Snoop, Ice Cube, and Eminem.
Mm-hmm.
It
Mm-hmm.
was like, yo, and see, I think for me, that's what kicked me over is that those three guys, right, basically said, you know what, you're a part of this.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't about his color. It ain't about his color. It's strictly about his rhyme skills. And John, to be honest with you, if there was another rapper out there that had the same kind of rhyme skills that Eminem had and was black, then we'd be best on. So I don't think that his color got anything to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the fact that he actually got
Well,
skills. Because there
well, I'm
are
gonna
some
be
white people,
honest.
Latino people
Yeah.
that can rap.
No, no,
Like
I
Fat
agree
Joe.
with you.
Fat Joe been kicking for years, and
Yeah, I know.
he ain't never going to get. And Fat Joe put out a single that the whole culture, black and white, will vibe to, but
Mm-hmm.
he is never going to sell Eminem good. Never.
Well, I think this. I agree with you about 98%. I do believe the fact that he is white does help the fact that he sold so much because like for the reasons that I said that because really Eminem coming out and do I mean it was proven when Vanilla Ice sold so much and at Vanilla Ice we already know it wasn't even that good but it proved the fact that white people really listen to hip hop. Like there's a lot of white hip hop fans, and that was proven when Vanilla Ice did so well. So
But that,
him
no,
being
I'm not.
a rapper so good like he is, and being white, yes, that definitely helped him get over the hump of being the best selling rapper ever. That there's no getting around that. And he knows that. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It's just, the fact that he's what makes him happy is that he is, before all of this stuff, he's well respected by his peers. And that's all he cares about. There's a lot of black hip hop fans that does not like Eminem just for the fact that he's good, he's white. But a lot of times they're like, oh, I don't bump Eminem in the clubs. We don't bump Eminem in our car. Okay. Some
You
people don't.
do.
Right? Some people do, some people don't. And I agree. Eminem doesn't make songs for the club. Eminem doesn't make songs, I mean, depending on what say, he doesn't make songs to just bump in your car. A lot of those times, those songs are heavily bass songs and things like that. So, I mean, okay, fine, but he makes good music. He makes great music. And like I said, you can talk all you want about oh, if he was this and he was that. But the bottom line is some of your favorite rappers, and this is what hurts you, some of your favorite rappers will get chewed by Eminem. Period.
Drake.
So
Drake.
some of your favorite rappers will get chewed up
The
by Eminem.
Migos.
Yeah. So the
Little
bottom line
Boozy.
is, I mean, all of, I mean,
Ratchet.
the guys of today is not even a question. But I'm talking about even some of my favorites from the 80s and 90s. They all know that Eminem ain't nothing to you know what with. So he's that dude, man. He's that one kid that hung out with a lot of black kids and came up in the hip hop culture. I know a few of them. I know a few of them personally. That the white kid that hung out with us and he can spit like he's good. You know what I'm saying? He can get it. He can freestyle. He can do it. I know a couple of them like that. And one of my good friends. Shout out to my man Sal Gayton. Yo, Sal Gayton's a graphic designer. He doesn't even rap or anything like that. But he can rap. He's really good actually when he raps. He start rapping, you like, whoa, dang. And he kicks it. But he's a white dude,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Um, graphic designer. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of them out there. So I get where you coming from, and I do want to put this up again. What he said there, I like what he said at the end of this. He said Eminem is what Elvis was to rock. That's pretty funny, and I get where you're
Yeah.
going with that too. But here's the deal: Eminem, in his craft, is way more talented than Elvis was in his craft. Let's be honest. Elvis, and now people get mad if they want. Yes, Elvis was a talented dude. Don't get me wrong. He's a talented dude, especially for back then. But, Eminem has all original stuff. Eminem did not take from anybody. you Whereas you could make that argument with Elvis. So I mean, there's been actual people talked about music and things like that. It's different if Eminem was this white guy that had a black guy writing for him or something like that. Like this is different. That'd be like a little different. Then you'd be like, oh man. But Eminem is original. He writes his own stuff. He can freestyle. He can go off the top of the dome. He can do all of these things very well, right? And he also produces music. He produced a lot of his own beats. He produced beats for others. The dude is legit. He's a legitimate hip hopper, period. And he belongs there. I was happy to see Janet Jackson induct Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. I said at the top of the show, the only possible other person that could have done it is not alive, and that's Prince. But other than that, that was the most perfect person.
Nah, there's one more. There's one more. One more person could have did it. Morris Day.
Well, Morris Day, but Morris Day is not usually people induct the inductees. The inductors is usually people that are already in the Hall of Fame, and they induct the other people in a lot of the time. So that's what I mean by like Prince is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? That's what I meant. I'm not saying, of course Morris Day, but he's not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame unless the time is in. I don't think they're in.
No, they're not.
They're not in yet. As far as the people who, but Morris Day is one of them that could have done it if you're not going by just induct, people that are already in. But I mean, there is no one more perfect than Prince because he gave them all opportunity to get where they are, even though they ended up, he ended up firing them, which actually was best thing that he could have did for them, at the time. And they didn't think it at the time, but at the same time, they were like, yo, Jimmy Jam has told that story many times, and it's funny. And he's like, yo, we were on the time, we were doing gigs with the time, and we were flying out and producing songs for other people. The SOS band, not the SOS, but the not the SOS. Yeah, the SOS band, that was them. They were doing stuff for them and in Atlanta, and they said that they flew out to produce Just Be Good to Me. They did that, and they produced that for the
SOS band.
Yeah, they produced that for the SOS band, and they said they literally got stuck in Atlanta. It's like it never snows in Atlanta, and for whatever reason, it snowed in Atlanta, and because it never snows here really, you can get a sprinkle of snow and the whole city is shut down. So they were stuck in, and they were supposed to fly back to Houston to play because they were in concert on tour with Prince, and they were supposed to play. So Prince ended up Prince and I think from his band Dr. Fink they actually filled in for Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. Prince played bass for Terry Lewis, and Doc played keyboard for Jimmy Jam. So that and it was and he was pissed obviously, and yeah, that led to them being fired from the time, and it ended up being one of the best things that and Prince, I think Jimmy Jam does say that when they came one time, they came across Prince and he was just like, yeah, I heard that. Yeah, oh, that's what it was. They were still on tour. So whatever reason they were late, and they were still on tour, and then it came out in like some magazine, some music magazine. Back then there was always music magazines. There was some music magazine came out, did a whole article on them, a whole article on them out there working with SOS Band, and they were trying to buy up all the magazines off the show so Prince didn't see it. They were literally the same magazine Prince got, but they were all the time, and they were trying to buy the magazines up off the stands and everything, so Prince he would not read it or not see that. It's a funny story. It's a real funny story, but Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis definitely deserve to be there, long overdue in my opinion, and no one better to induct them than Janet Jackson. I love how Janet was like, Jimmy and Terry worked with a lot of people. She's like, I'm not the only artist they work with, but I'm their favorite. I thought that was funny. That was cool. Who else got in? Duran Duran, right? Then Duran Duran was in.
Duran, the
Eurythmics. Yo,
Jimmy,
man.
like you said, Jimmy Iovine.
Jimmy Iovine.
Um,
Also, Judas Priest. Judas Priest got in.
Yeah.
Who else? There was a couple. Oh, Lionel Richie. That was good too. Lionel Richie, man.
That was a good one.
That was a good one. Lionel Richie has done a lot, bro, and he's written a lot of hits for people and stuff like that. So, yeah, it was a good, and of course the great Dolly Parton. She was in. I'm very surprised that she wasn't in already. I'm very surprised she wasn't in already. Dolly Parton just now getting into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Carly Simon just now. I think she's in there too. She just got in. And you're like, Carly Simon, from the 70s, she should have been in there. Same Dolly Parton should have been in there. Way better.
Yeah, exactly. What did he say? When
Boys to Men.
Yeah, he said without Prince, Janet Jackson, Benjamin Human League, and many artists wouldn't be commercially huge. Oh, you talking about because of Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis? Yeah, Janet Jackson
I don't
for
get
sure.
about Boys to Men. I don't say.
Well, not Boys to Men, only because Boys to Men predominantly did work with Babyface in L.A. as opposed to Jimmy Jam and Terry. But they did do Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis did do a big song for them. A couple of big songs. Yeah, no, that was Babyface, End of the Road. They did there was another one that was big. The other one, I'll Make Love to You. I think that's the one. I think that's the one that they did with them. End of the Road was actually I'll Make Love to You might have been Babyface too.
Babyface.
Yeah, L.A. Reid and Babyface was End of the Road. It might have been I'll Make Love to You too, but then they had the other one too. They had like three really big ones at that time. But I want to say I'll Make Love to You was Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. That's what I'm thinking.
I do too.
Yeah, I think that's the one. But Boys to Men still would have been big, but because of how they got their start. They got their start through Michael Bivins, and he also, they still would have came out. He said commercially big, I get it, but most of their commercial hits came from Babyface in LA. But yeah, Human League possibly, yeah, as well. But Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, man, them dudes, they're fierce, man. I'm glad they got in there. I'm very glad they got in there. He said, I would have loved to see Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis versus Babyface and L.A. Reid in a versus battle. Yeah, that'd have been great. Like that would have been so dope. That would have been so dope. There's some there's always been some.
Damn, I'm sorry.
There was some personal beef.
There was a. I gotta go with Babyface beating Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis.
It's all about
L.A. Reid.
It's all about the song selection, bro. You know how verses go. It's all about the song selection.
That's exactly. Look, Babyface L.A. Reid. If you just bring Bobby Brown, TLC, Boys to Men, Tony Braxton, shit, that's enough right there. I think there.
Like I said, I don't know. Like I said, Jimmy Jam and Taylor Lewis got some big hits, man. They got some great hits.
Dude,
That'd be a
no
great versus
doubt,
battle.
no doubt,
That'd be a great
no
versus
doubt.
battle.
That for that,
I
I
mean,
got.
hell,
I'm
half of it they can bring Janet stuff. Half of
yeah,
it they can bring Janet stuff. Also, you know, I mean, Babyface. First of all, let's not get it twisted. Babyface, if not the greatest, is one of the greatest writers in the history of music. You know what I'm saying? He to me, he's on my Mount Rushmore of
yeah,
writers and producers. He's right up there. It's him as far as writers go. It's funny because Babyface could be on two different Mount Rushmores. He could be on a producer Mount Rushmore, and he could be on a writer's Mount Rushmore. Because to me, um, I haven't filled in the other two yet, but my two definites on Mount Rushmore of writing is Babyface and Diane Warren. Those are my two definites. There is no way either one of them isn't on Mount Rushmore for writers. Diane Warren has worked with damn near everybody, and she's everything she touches turns to gold and platinum in this case, you know. So she's just one of the greatest writers in the history, and she's been writing since the 70s or the 80s, early 80s. Babyface is right up there though. He's right up there because he's worked with a lot of people. He hasn't just worked with
yeah,
R&B people. You know what I mean? He hasn't just worked with R&B people. He's worked with a lot of, pop artists, rock artists. He did work with Michael. That like one project he worked with Michael. He didn't really, surprisingly, he didn't work with Michael a lot because back in them days, once you got your guy or gal or whoever was your producer, that's who you stuck with for the most part. And Michael stuck with Quincy, and then when he
yeah,
moved from Quincy, he got to Teddy Riley. You know what I mean? He got to Teddy Riley,
yeah,
stuck with Teddy for a while, and every now and then he'd bring in a new producer. He got my man Freeze, Dr. Freeze. You know what I'm saying? Freeze was working with him on a lot of stuff. Then he bought, he started working with Kels, with R. Kelly a little bit. So, but he actually didn't even work with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis because it was almost like a conflict of interest because they were with Janet. And back then it wasn't
yeah.
like, oh,
He was like,
let me,
those, that's my
yeah,
sister's people.
yeah,
That's my
yeah,
sister's people. I'm gonna leave them alone.
yeah,
Man,
right, yeah,
can you imagine what Babyface, I mean, Jimmy Jam and Taylor could have did with Michael Jackson?
yeah.
Man,
Yeah,
it
oh
would have
yeah. I
been
mean,
something epic.
they only worked with him really on the joint that he did with Janet Scream. And look how dope that was. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I mean, like I said, it was like a unofficial rule not to go work with a writer that's like works closely with one major artist, and see, being that Babyface worked with so many different people, it was okay to work with him. You know what I mean? Because he worked with so many different people, and like he was just like only this. I mean, they all did too. Jimmy Jam did, but when Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, they working with Janet was a project. You know what I'm saying? Like that was their pet project, their baby, their masterpiece. Working with Janet on those first few, even those first three albums, that was just phenomenal albums. You know what I mean? That will stay in. Those first three albums are pretty much when Janet released that the Design of a Decade, greatest hits album. It was pretty much those first three albums: the Control, the Rhythm Nation, and the Janet album. Those were pretty much that was it. You know what I mean? Like as far as the greatest hits came within those albums. Um, and they were all predominantly with them, you know. So he said Babyface also worked Mary J. Blige. Yes, yeah, Babyface worked with a lot.
yeah,
They've all worked with. That's why it makes a good rate. What's it called? Versus battle, because they've worked with a lot of the same artists, and you could take one of the songs. That's just like saying "I'll Make Love to You" versus End of the Road. Take your pick. People who love End of the Road. People who love that "I'll Make Love to You." So it's like going at that, or whatever they might have did with Aretha, that Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis did with Aretha. Usher, same thing. They both worked with Usher before. It's just it's that would have been cool. That'd have been cool, but I don't think we'll ever see that happen. 'Cause they didn't really get along
Nah,
in real
that was
life. They had like some personal beef going on between them. So because Jimmy Jam, I think it was Jimmy Jam. He should be married to Karen White, and at the same time, I think it was
yeah.
L.A. Reid who also was messing with Karen White. So no, I'm sorry, Terry Lewis, I think, was married to Karen White. But anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was, it was a little deep, but I wish they would put that aside for the for the culture. I wish they would put that aside and do a versus battle. That would be awesome. It would be awesome because the way they started doing verses now, if they actually battled and had artists come out that they worked with and sing their songs, oh my God, that would break the internet. That would break the internet. Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis talk about that's a dope song. But we gonna bring out boom. They bring out Janet Jackson and she perform a medley of her songs with them and be out. And then that right there is enough to get a win. But then Boys and
I
Men come
know.
out and sing both their songs. Boys and Men come out and sing How They Love You. They come out and sing End of the Road. That would break. And I wouldn't even put that on. And I put that on pay-per-view. Like people would watch. People would watch that, man. Janet Jackson, Boys and Men, all these different people that Babyface have been worked with, and Bobby Brown and Usher and all these. Think about that.
That'd be a
Think
good
about that. Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis did Johnny Gill's not first, but when he did his solo album, his first single released, and one of the first hits he had off that album was Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, Rub You the Right Way, because that's that funk, that sound that they got, that Minneapolis funk, that funk. And then Babyface in LA do his biggest hit off that album, which is
My.
You know what I'm saying? So Jesus, that's cool. And let's see. So you said my mic my mic. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, it's so I don't know what the hell's going on. It's just got to be the connection because I'm using a completely different microphone at this point. And it's got to be sometimes my probably the connection with StreamYard. But anyway, I really enjoyed that. Eurythmics, man. I love Annie Lennox.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
I love her voice. Always loved her voice. And I tell you, Sweet Dreams is just one of the wow, that's one of the baddest songs ever made, in my opinion.
That's like one of them bars when you first hear it, you like, oh, and it brings you back sweet dreams. What? I was watching the Shaq documentary on HBO.
Right.
And he was bugging me out. He said playing the Shaq's White Boys list. And he was playing music and he put on like music from the 80s, Aha, Take On Me, and what was the other one he did? But there are certain songs from artists that when you hear the first couple of bars, you automatically know who it is. Like you don't have to question. Like you hear that sweet, you're like,
yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. And that's the other thing. You know the words too. You know all the words to it.
Yep. And I remember I forget the dude's name, and he told the story. Sweet Dreams, the beat, that was an accident, right? Did you ever hear that story? He made that beat by accident. He didn't know how to work the drum machine. Right. He didn't know how to work the drum machine yet that he just bought. And he was trying to make a beat. And the way the beat came out, like that wasn't the way he intended it at first. So, I mean, the actual beat part of it. And then obviously he added in the keys. You know what I mean? So I'm like, yo, that's crazy. That's a beautiful accident.
That's an accident.
That's a beautiful accident that became an iconic song. Oh my goodness, man. It's like, are you serious? I've said
and one of those songs that look, Nobody don't remake that song. You're never
I've
ever.
heard remakes of it. But different versions.
I've heard
Like
beats. I've heard
no,
different.
no, no, no. No
Yeah.
one's. I've never heard anyone try to remake it the way it is. Like I've heard re-imaging of it. Like I've heard different versions of it. I remember one. I want to say that show because it stuck out to me because I'd never heard it this way. It was that show that Maggie Q was on when she was the I think it was called The Stalker. That's what it was called. That show. I remember them playing. Someone was singing like a very uh slowed down, creepier version of Sweet Dreams.
Hold on. Someone's knocking at my door. Hold on a second.
Right. Yeah, it was like a slower, slowed down, creepy version of Sweet Dreams. It was like Sweet Dreams. It was just weird, but it was interesting, you know. It was very, very, very more laid back. He said John says Sade and Annie Lennox were the most successful female artists in the UK history of its 20th century. Today's generation will argue Adele and Amy Winehouse. That's how legendary Annie Lennox was. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, they were very, and people will try to make that argument. Sade, I don't even want to get on her. She is like, man, Sade. All I did was just, she was one of my favorite artists like ever. You know, it's funny because I put myself. I'll tell you this with John. It's a funny story. I put myself in a position to like. I love Sade all day, every day. But then I went through this phase where I used to listen to her every night. Like she put me to sleep. Like she put me purposely. I put her on because she calmed me down. And I would, I'm talking about Sade here because John mentioned Sade. I would put Sade on because she was so calm and her music so smooth and her voice was so smooth. And I do that every night before I went to sleep. So I would literally listen to Sade throughout the night while I'm sleeping. The
Cherish the
downfall,
day, man.
right? The
Cherish the day.
downfall to that. There's a downfall to that. Now I cannot play Sade and not get tired. Like if I'm driving and I love playing music when I'm driving. I love to drive. I love to travel. When I play though, when Sade music come on, I'm like this. Now I done hypnotize myself to
Hey.
fall asleep when I hear Sade. So
Oh,
I
you got
can't
me
even
started there. Huh?
see. I can't even play Sade now without falling asleep because it's so locked into when I was younger, and I used to buy all her records and all her CDs, and I would just put on my CD player and just go to sleep. And just I loved it because she calmed me down. But now that's the downfall. I can't drive and be playing. It's mental. It's mental. I've hypnotized myself. I'm driving. I could be driving long distance and Sade will come on and I'm driving. It won't be 10 minutes before I'm like this. And I'm like, oh man, because I love Sade. You know?
Yeah.
So I have to listen to her, John, in a safe place where I won't kill myself on the road. You know, I have to be
That's
sitting in
still
my
my
chair.
song to this day. Cherish the day. I love that song. The
Hmm.
beat, and then when the bass kick in, it's like, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It
That
do.
and
Oh yeah.
certainly No Ordinary Love.
Hmm. Yeah.
Right.
That I think it
And
was
she
Ordinary Love is when that bass creeps in. Do 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 do
yeah,
do 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 do. And when
yeah,
that bass creeps in, you're like, oh my god.
yeah.
No, no, that one is Cherish the Day.
That's Cherish the Day with the
That's
guitar,
Cherish the
with the
Day
guitar.
with the guitar. But the bass thing on do 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 do. That's what that is.
Yeah,
That's the Ordinary Love.
yeah. That's
Do
No Ordinary Love.
do 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 do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All her and she never really made, with the exception maybe I think Paris, she never really made up tempo cuts. They were all mellow love songs. They not no, as you said, in the club, even in Paradise, you're not rocking out to Paradise in the club.
No,
Oh my
exactly.
gosh. If Sade go back on tour, I went to the No Ordinary Love tour, man. It was incredible.
Oh
I would
wow.
love to see Sade one more time. I would
Yeah, I
love.
saw that. I saw that picture. That was funny because the internet lost it. They was like, Drake, get away from Sade. They was like, get away from Sade, because you know Drake be trying to smash everything. You know what I'm saying? They was like, Drake, you stay away from Sade. Stay away from her.
And
But he
I'm
really
sorry,
just he
man.
just took that picture with her. Oh
Sade
no,
can
she
still get
gets. Oh,
smashed.
of
She can
course she
still get
can.
smashed.
But I'm just saying, like,
63, don't
he
care.
got her to take a picture with his mom because his mom was a big fan of hers always. So he brought her out of hiding, like John said. She took a picture with his mom. So I was like, wow, that is too much, man. But yeah, bro, I had fun with this one. I have fun with the this Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And Dolly Parton is just such a,
Yeah,
you look at Dolly Parton, man, you just like want to hug her or sit down and say, hey, eat a slice of apple pie with her or something. Like she just seems like the sweetest person. She really does. She just seems like the sweetest person, yo. Like you want to sit down and have some mac and cheese with her or something, like something,
yeah.
slice of pie,
Could we just have
and
some chicken and dumplings together and
yeah,
just talk?
and just talk. Cause I'm telling you right now,
That's what I'm saying.
obviously, she got knowledge, man. That woman got some knowledge on her. I mean, this is the difference. This is how our generation is. Generation X. I know I have a video that I put out there talking about Generation X on Instagram, and surprisingly, bro, that video it isn't viral, but this is the most like views I've ever had on an Instagram post. This video that I put up with a guy talking about Generation X is just me just kind of reacting to it. I've already got like 15,000 views on that one video and like 800 shares and all this other stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, I've never
But you
had that
guys
many
suck.
views.
I'm sorry.
so,
Sorry,
so,
I hate to say it, man.
so the Generation X, man, we grew up like we listen to the old heads. You know what I'm saying? Like we want to talk with older people because we love it. Knowledge plus experience equals wisdom. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we look for. We don't look for knowledge. Yes, we do, but we don't. We don't just search for knowledge. We search for wisdom. You know what I'm saying? Because wisdom it's better than knowledge. Now you can learn everything you want by just reading and Googling stuff, right? But that's not gonna really give you the real lowdown. You need a little bit of knowledge mixed with experience, and that equals wisdom. And that is what we look for. I think Dolly Parton has a lot of wisdom. People
Oh
like
yeah.
her, you could sit down with her. I could probably sit down and talk for hours with her, hours and hours, just listening. I won't be saying much or nothing. I'll just be listening, eating my slice of apple pie with her and listening.
The glass of lemonade.
Yeah, the glass
Glass
of lemonade. Just listening to her. I'm gonna tell you right now, one of the realest songs ever wrote. She's also a very good writer. One of the realest songs ever wrote, 9 to 5. That is one of the realest songs you will ever hear. If you don't remember the song, Google the lyrics. Listen to the
Forget that. It
song,
was on. It
read the
was on
lyrics.
HBO. Literally, I was getting
Yeah.
ready to go wash my clothes. It was on HBO today. I just when the song went off, that's when I walked out. But
Yeah.
look at the symmetry. Look what she said in 1980. We still gonna do the
It
same
it
shit.
resonates right now.
Yeah.
That's how you know it's a amazing song by an amazing writer and songstress. Period. Because it resonates today, you
Yeah.
know. And yeah, so I'm telling you, man, it's so I'd love to sit down and talk with her, as well as people like Lionel Richie and stuff like that. I'd love to sit down and talk. He's another very nice. I was happy when he became an American Idol judge, right? Because I don't watch the show, but he's worthy of being there. You know what I mean? He's worthy of being an American. To be honest with you, and I'm not slighting anybody who's ever been judged and stuff like that. To me, the judge of a show like the American Idol should be people like Lionel Richie. You know what I'm saying? And people like Dolly Parton, people like that of that stature should be the judges. When I first, like I didn't know anything about Simon Cowell when it first came out. What the hell? What makes
Nah,
him?
not one damn thing.
I was like, what makes him qualified to judge all these people of what's called the American Idol? You know what I'm saying? So, and even I knew I did hear of Randy Jackson. I definitely knew who he was, but at the same time, once again, I'm like, and of course, Paula, and but I'm just, Paula was just at the time she was the most recent like star that was on that panel. You know what I mean? So, I think Lionel Richie, when they made him a judge of the American Idol, I was like, yeah, he that's the right move. Cause come on, dude, Lionel Richie, he can tell you how to do it. And I've seen him, shout out to my girl Alanis Sophia. She was on American Idol. She's a very good young um singer. She's doing a thing. She's on American Idol. Made it pretty far too. And I used to like to listen to what Lionel Richie had to say to her. You know what I mean? Because he was just like, but how he says to everybody, like you got to take that direction from him because he's gonna keep it. He said one thing to her about performing, and he was just like, because she's a great performer herself. She's very polished. Like to be on that show, she was very polished at a young age, and they kept bringing that up to her. But Lionel kept saying, you just got to get a little more control of the stage. You know what I'm saying? And he told her what she should do and how she should let this happen and blah blah blah. I love the advice he gives people, right? And it's like, yo, it's Lionel Richie, man. All the stuff that he's done and hits that he's written and it's just crazy, man. That dude is there. So I was glad to see him go in too. I'll definitely got to see him go in. And man, he said dancing on the ceiling. That's what Joseph said. Yep, dancing on the ceiling. That's one of many.
Yeah.
Lionel was overshadowed by mega success of Michael Jackson and Prince. Lionel Richie's. Yeah, you're right about that, John. But that American Music Awards, where he everyone thought Prince was going to clean up that year. And Lionel Richie threw a monkey wrench in that because Lionel Richie, he was hosting that year. I remember that show. He was hosting it. Outrageous. That was the word of the night. That was the word of the night. Outrageous.
I wonder if that word, and that word has haunted him all these years. Outrageous.
Yeah.
He's never going to shake it.
Yep. Outrageous. I remember it like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
It was like yesterday, man. So I'm telling you, man, that is that's when American Music Awards was good. That was like it was worth watching. Because you had him, Michael Jackson, Prince, and the American Music Awards and the Grammys was actually exciting to watch back then. Because you wanted to see who was gonna own who.
What they gonna do. What they gonna do.
What they gonna do. Prince did that performance on the Grammys of Purple Rain. That was probably one of the best performances of the Grammys ever. When he did that performance of Purple Rain on the Grammys, everybody was like, "Oh man, that was great." Michael performing and I think he performed "Dangerous" on the Grammys one time. Then it wasn't that he did one of them songs on the Grammys.
No, I think one year I did. Which was the one that he did? He did. Remember the time when his foot was messed up and he was just
that was like on the Soul Train. I think that was a Soul Train
Yeah.
Awards. Yeah, he injured himself in practice.
Yeah,
but he still
tried to get up there and do it.
He still tried to do his thing. It was cool though. It was a cool performance. The fact that he couldn't even stand on his leg, he sat there in the chair and was still doing like the tutting and stuff like that with the dancers, which was really cool for the
Yeah.
fact that he was stuck in the chair. And people were still like, yo, I swear to God, I was like, yo, I kept thinking and hoping that he was lying to us and he was gonna jump up out the chair and
When he
start
when he
dancing.
did jump up for a second and he stood at this foot, he was like, and he started crying on as he was doing the song. It was like, damn, Michael. He want to
Everybody,
get up there bad. He want to get up there bad.
yeah. Yo, when he was doing the song and he stood up, I was like, "This is it. He's gonna start dancing. Everybody's gonna go crazy." I thought that Michael was pulling the wool over our faces, but nah, that wasn't it. He was really hurt, and he still did his thing, man. He still managed to do his
Yeah.
thing. So that's what's up. I mean, I'm not sure. I've been trying to text Kev. I'm not sure if Kev is on tonight. If he doesn't come on, we can't do the thing tonight. We may have to do 2 rounds next week if we
Yes,
yeah
Joseph. We know
yeah
that Vincent Price did part in Thriller.
right
We all know that he was a part in Thriller. He's actually in
of
the music video
course
too.
yeah which he said which is of course he said did you know of course man Vincent Price, who else could he have gotten at that point? I mean, with the voice, I mean, there's other great voices of the time, but Vincent Price was the great spooky voice person. Yeah, the horror voice.
He
And
was a
no
horror
one else
voice.
could have done that. And if I tell you one thing, speaking of Thriller, it is like the 40th anniversary of Thriller, right? Remember we were talking about how they shut down the Chris Brown performance. It's the 40th anniversary of Thriller. That alone, I give some people who watching this some gem of homework to do. Just go on YouTube and listen to some of like producers that listen to the acapellas of Michael Jackson, especially the Thriller album.
Mm-hmm.
If you just listen to Thriller and or the acapella version of Thriller and how Michael Jackson's voice alone is an instrument. So you have to understand when he sang those tracks, and he sang all the tracks. He sung all of the vocals, backgrounds is included. And when you hear that stuff, man, you're gonna be like blown, mind blown. Thriller is and always will be, in my opinion, the greatest album ever made. It's it,
Pretty
it ain't
much.
it's to the point. 9 bangers. There's only 9 songs on Thriller. 9 bangers, possibly 9 singles. Like you, almost all of those songs could have been a single, and a lot of them were singles.
Mm-hmm.
End up coming
Yeah.
up being singles. I
B-sides.
mean, yeah, a lot of them were singles anyway. So it's like, yo, you talk, want to be started something, boom, that comes out. Then you got what was the second song? You had want to be starting something. Then it was like what was the second song on Thriller? Um, Dang, why can't I remember the second song on Thriller? There's only 9 of them. Because at the end was "Lady in My Life." That was the end. That was the last song on the album.
Oh,
"Lady in My
baby,
Life."
be mine.
"Baby Be Mine." "Baby Be Mine," second song. Then you had, I want to say, "Beat It" came after that. Then you had after "Beat It," was it Billie Jean or Thriller? Thriller was like the 5th song on the album or something like that. I
I'm
mean,
looking at the track list. It's first is "Want to Be
"Baby Be
Starting Something,"
Mine."
and then "Baby Be Mine."
Yep.
Then "The Girl Is Mine."
"Girl Is Mine"
Then
with
"Thriller."
Paul McCartney. Then Thriller.
Yeah.
Then
Then "Beat It."
Beat It, Billie Jean. Or no,
Jean.
yeah, then
Human Nature.
PYT. Human Nature, PYT,
And then
right?
"Lady in My Life."
And then Lady in My Life. Dude, that's like 9 singles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right there. To form the best album ever. And when not only that, um, the album was so special because you think about how it was. They had stories out there of how it was all put together, and you know, I got to give props to my dudes from the group Toto because Toto did a lot of work on the Thriller album. And a lot of people don't realize that, don't remember, or don't even know that Toto did pretty much most of the music, like on a lot of the records. If you think about Beat It, Toto, everyone talks about Eddie Van Halen's solo because rightfully so, because it's a great solo. But that's all he did in the song. He didn't do none of the other part of the song. That was all Toto. That was all Toto. As a matter of fact, one of the members of Toto, what he wrote Human Nature. One of the members of Toto wrote Human Nature, and they composed it. So, like they did a lot of work on that album. Almost all of the work, not a lot of the work on the. So they're a big part. Quincy was that big. Like he's the conductor, right? Like he's like, okay, yeah, he go to Toto and say, yo, I want something like this. He I remember he went to Toto and was like, yo, I want like some My Sharona type, blah blah blah. You know what? And they can, that's what he said. And they kind of came up with Beat It, and stuff. And they was like, yo, and then that's after they came up with Beat It. It was like, yo, we need the icing on the cake, man. I'm gonna reach out to Eddie Van Halen to see if he can give us a solo. And then Van Halen did the solo, didn't even. I think he recorded the solo at his home studio. You know what I mean? He threw the solo in there and sent it to them, and they were like, "Oh my god, yeah, great." You know, he went and got my man from the Brothers Johnson to play bass for Billie Jean.
Mm-hmm.
So he had some guest stars on there. I think Stevie Wonder worked on the album somewhere. Like different people were coming in and like, yo, they just grabbing cats like, yo, I need you to rock out for me with this. But them dudes from the band Toto, yo, give them their props. And without them, Thriller would not have been what it is. It wouldn't have. It wouldn't have been musically what it was because they were the ones that were doing a lot of the composing and writing on the album. So I got to give them super props, you know. And Thriller was that transition album for Michael. It was like he transitioned from being an R&B artist to a pop star, to a pop
Yeah.
artist. That was a transition album because it's funny because it's like Wannabe started something sounds like it could have been on Off the Wall. You know what I'm saying?
It should have been on Off
Like
the Wall. It
probably
should have been a companion. It should have been a companion to Off the Wall. Is what it should have
right
been.
Off the Wall.
It should have been. It should have been the B side to Off the Wall.
So what he did was that's what this is also how perfect this album was. He transitioned right in front of us from what he opened the album of what we're used to hearing from him. Want to be starting something? That's like, oh, okay. You say you're the first time you've ever, I guess you're an alien. You just landed on the planet and you've never heard of Michael Jackson. So the first time you ever hear Michael Jackson. So I give you Off the Wall and I give you Thriller, and you listen to them. You jamming on Off the Wall, and then you okay. Let me try this Thriller album, and you put that on. Right out the gate. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is like some Off the Walls. Okay, he jamming. We continuing. Then he brings in Baby Be Mine. Little, same type of feel, R&B feel still. Okay, but a little bit more, a little different. By the time you get to Thriller, you're like, huh? Because this is how I felt when I could tell you exactly how I felt when I heard the album of Thriller. And I was like, okay, there's some old creepy stuff. But then I thought about Off the Wall, how it started. that little sound of you had the laughing in the background. I'm like okay, he's doing some off the wall stuff again. And then Thriller drops, and I'm like, yo, this is crazy. This is dope. Beat It hits. When Beat It jumps in, I'm like, okay, this is really different. You know, what I mean? I was like, but this was what with Michael Jackson. There's been plenty of times that I would buy the album when it first came out, and there's certain songs that didn't resonate with me until I saw the video. This is where MTV came into play in the video shows.
Yeah.
Because I felt the same when I bought the Bad album. I hated Smooth Criminal. I mean, hated that song. I was like, I hate this song. And are you okay? And are you okay? I'm like,
But
what
then
the
you saw the
hell is he
video.
talking about? Then I saw the video, and now it's one of my favorite songs. I'm like, yo, the video.
Did you ever see the
over.
long form version?
Yeah.
Moonwalker.
Yeah,
Man,
I saw the whole movie. That's when I
was
first saw the
mean.
video because I watched the Moonwalker. Joe Pesci was in that. In that
Moonwalker
movie.
was mean.
Yep. Joe, you know what, Joe? That's one of my go-tos whenever I play 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. I use when people use stuff like that and they try to get me with Michael Jackson. I'm like, I can easily connect Michael Jackson to Kevin Bacon through Joe Pesci. And I can do it in 3 steps. Because Joe Pesci was in Moonwalker with Michael Jackson. And then who was, Michael Jackson in Moonwalker with Joe Pesci. Joe Pesci was in JFK with guess who? Kevin Bacon. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like in 2 steps. I remember one of my friends used to play that game with me all the time. She thought she had me. She was like, Michael Jackson. She said it like that. Michael Jackson. Connect him to Kevin Bacon. I was like, And then I did it in 2 steps and she was pissed. She was like, oh my God. Damn you. She hit me with Michael Jackson. She hit me with like Shaq. She was hitting me with all different people that like been in, at that time had only been in like one movie. And I'm like, yo, I'm telling you, you can connect anybody to Kevin Bacon.
Pretty much.
I'm like, this dude, Kevin Bacon, have been in movies with so many actors.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. You could connect anyone to Kevin Bacon. I don't care if they've been in one movie. As long as they weren't in that movie by themselves, then you could connect them to Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
And that's it.
When I was a vendor for Best Buy, I actually not indirectly, but I was kind of like in charge of the DVD section, and I would play 7 Degrees Separation with the staff, and I said, okay, this is what we're gonna do. The movie that's #1 this week, we're gonna do 7 Degrees Separation, 6 Degrees Separation, but you can only go with the films that are in our inventory. So there was no going on the internet. So the year we did like the let's say for example the Incredibles. So the question was, how do you connect the cast in Incredibles to Kevin Bacon? And like I said, you can only do it by looking through the inventory. You actually had to go through our inventory and try to piece that together on how to do it. And some of the guys were able to do it. Some of the guys would do it because I was like, that's the only way you're gonna know what we actually carry. So when people say, well, do you have this movie? Yes, we do. Because
that's a good way. That's a good way of that's a good way of training them, bro.
That's exactly what.
That's a great way.
So every Monday, when they had the #1 movie in the country, whatever it was, and that was like 2005. So like let's say Pirates of the Caribbean. Okay, the main cast of Pirates of the Caribbean: Johnny Depp, Jeffrey Rush, Christian.
Exactly.
Knight. Connect them in some way to Kevin Bacon. Can you do it? I can do it. Let's get it done. Because there wasn't no these. I mean, Wikipedia really wasn't as prevalent back in 2005, 2006. So you had to use the brain up here to figure out how to do that one. I was able to do it. So I was like, if I could do it, you guys could do it.
Yeah.
And it was like I said, it gave a chance to learn more about movies. Because if you're gonna be, I'm like, if you're gonna be in the movie department with me, you better know what the fuck you're talking about. Don't come with me like, well, I don't know. No. Can't do that. No, I wish when I worked in a video store would have been the best place for me to do it. because that would have been real good to be connecting people to people stuff. But that was before someone came up with the idea of 7 degrees of bacon.
6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Yeah, 6 degrees of Kevin
Yeah,
Bacon.
6 degrees of bacon.
Yeah, 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Yeah, that's hilarious though. But it's awesome. I mean, yeah, that's funny. Like The Incredibles. Yeah, now I think about it, I'm like, well, was Craig T. Nelson was one of the voices in that? Was he one of the voices in
Yeah.
that
So
show?
you got to
I would go
you
through
got to
him.
connect.
Yeah, I would use Craig T. Nelson. Maybe go to Action Jackson. Maybe Craig T. Nelson was in Action Jackson with Carl Weathers, who was in Predator with Schwarzenegger or something like that. I'd go
No,
through
but
that, or
that's
maybe
that
go
he's the easy one. Craig, you got Craig
Craig.
T.
Yeah,
Nelson goes to um Tom Hanks and Turner Hooch, who was in
yeah.
Apollo 13 with
Apollo
Kevin Bacon.
13 with Kevin Bacon.
Right.
Yeah, that's an easier
Then you
route.
take
Yeah,
Holly Hunter. You figure out Holly Hunter, and then
yeah.
you got to figure out who what's the other guys Jimmy, the guy that plays the villain, and Samuel Jackson,
Well,
and
that's easy.
Samuel Jackson is
Samuel.
the easiest one.
Yeah,
Right? He's the easiest one, and also Holly Hunter, right? And you figure out how they all connect to Kevin Bacon.
right.
But
Oh,
like I
that would
said,
be
you got like I said, but that means that you also gotta know about more than just I saw the movie. You gotta know about movie cast. And
Yeah,
then
you
once
gotta know
you
about
piece
that
that together
cast.
little, you can start putting together. Like Holly Hunter,
Yeah.
Holly Hunter, Kevin Bacon, because Holly Hunter was in Copycat with Sigourney Weaver, no, I'm sorry. Sigourney Weaver. Holly Hunter, you connect her to.
I'm trying to think what else do I remember Holly Hunter in. She's in a lot of movies, obviously.
Yeah. That see, it's not 2004 no more. I had to think about that one, but Holly Hunter, you connect Hunter to. Why did I say Sigourney Weaver?
Yeah, I mean, you could probably still use Sigourney Weaver if you connect in Holly Hunter. You just gotta do it in 6 steps, but I think you can use Sigourney Weaver.
See, now I got
because if you think about what you call it, the hell was that? I can't think of that movie right now.
See, now I got to think about this, man. Holly. All right, I got the pen. Holly Hunter to Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
To Kevin Bacon. Okay. So I could take Holly Hunter and connect her with. I said Sigourney Weaver, but Sigourney Weaver doesn't work.
She may not work in 6 degrees. She will work, but
here we go. Holly Hunter to Tom Cruise, right? Because they were in The Firm, right? And then you take Tom Cruise to Meryl Streep. And look at this. I'm doing this.
You're going a long way.
No. Tom Cruise and Meryl Streep, who's in what's the Lamb movie? It's Lions of the Lambs, right? And that's with Meryl Streep, who was in the River Wild with Kevin Bacon.
That's another one. Because wasn't Tom Cruise in The Outsiders with Matt Dillon?
Yeah, he's in The Outsiders with Matt Dillon.
There you go. And Matt Dillon was in Wild Things with Kevin Bacon.
Wild Things, yeah.
Right there. So yeah, you there's a couple of routes you can go with Tom Cruise. I like Kevin. He was in Wild Things with Kevin Bacon. They're just like, and the way you went, same thing. You went through Meryl, right?
Yeah. But yeah, so like I said, I used to do that every Monday, every Tuesday, because Tuesday
we need to do something like that. We should do some sort of 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon tournament or something. Get our listeners involved. See if they can come up, and then we'll get a prize. Let's see who can come up and connect. We could give them people to connect Kevin Bacon to, or do you want to see if they can stump us and they can come up and give
Can you
us?
stump the council?
Can you stump the council? That might be interesting.
Now that might be. Now that might be the challenge. Can you stump the council?
Can you stump the council? Can you give us? And we will do it without using the internet, or anything like that. Use it, with our brains because we've seen so many movies. But I'm gonna be honest with you, before I do something like that, I'd have to go through and start watching some Kevin Bacon movies just to get in my head. Because
I've seen enough Kevin Bacon movies, right? I think I've seen a good 25. I think I've seen at least a good 25 Kevin Bacon movies. Because remember, Kevin Bacon, he's not always the big name. He's
no,
small,
exactly. It's because he's always been in other movies with people. So now it's like the hardest stuff is gonna be the more modern like today actors. That's gonna be the harder ones to connect to Kevin Bacon. Except because if you look at, let's just say, no, not really now. Because I was just thinking about Millie Bobby Brown. Somebody texted me Millie Bobby Brown, and I'm like, well, not anymore because she's in that Enola Holmes with Henry Cavill. And Henry Cavill is in Mission Impossible with Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is in, you know what I'm saying? Like you can go that route. You know what I mean? That's one route.
Well, just with
you gotta get in.
Well,
just
with that one, because Millie Brown's the girl from Stranger Things, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
she hasn't been in a lot of movies.
But even still, Millie Brown is in Stranger Things with David Harbour, who's in Black Mass with Kevin Bacon.
Black Mass with Kevin Bacon. Yeah.
Just off the head,
right there. Yep, David Harbour. You could probably even use Winona Ryder. And go somewhere with it. I don't know where, but you can. I'm sure you can.
Winona Ryder was in Edward Scissorhands with Johnny Depp, who's in Black Mass. Kevin
Bacon. Exactly. There you go. It's Edward Scissorhands with Johnny Depp, or you can probably use because Winona Ryder was in Beetlejuice. You could go through that because of Alec Baldwin. You can use Alec Baldwin. And oh shoot, I'm thinking. What am I thinking? I'm talking about Tom Cruise. He was in A Few Good Men with Tom Cruise too. So once you get to Tom Cruise, it's over. So
it's a wrap.
It's a wrap. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
he's been in so many movies. I mean, not just he's been in so many movies, so many big casts. Because I'm good movies with great casts. I'm gonna tell you right now, my go-tos with Kevin Bacon that always gets me out of a jam when it comes to playing this game is A Few Good Men, JFK, because JFK was a big cast, big cast. You had Tommy Lee Jones, Joe Pesci. Kevin Costner. Yeah, all these people. What's his name? And plus, I mean, you could use that. Plus, you can also use Kiefer Sutherland was in JFK and he was in the Flatliners with Kevin Bacon. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got that. So it's so many. So that's a go-to for me as well. Then you think about
I'm thinking
what was that? River Wild.
But I was actually thinking about Mystic River.
Mystic River.
That's a
big cast. Big cast. Mystic River. You talk about Clint Eastwood. What's his name? Well, Clint Eastwood was in there, right?
No, he directed.
No, he directed it.
Sean Penn. That's Marsha Gay Harden.
Yeah.
Tim Robbins. You know,
Jim
Lawrence
Roberts, yeah.
Fishburne is
Lawrence
in a
Fishburne.
huge cast. You know,
And it really just helps you right then, right there.
yeah.
Where people are like, oh, could I? So we just connected on air live for you people. Millie Bobby Brown, who's an actress of today, and she hasn't been anything with Kevin Bacon, but yet lo and behold, she's connected to Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
You
And
got actors.
for you comic book fans, don't forget Kevin Bacon is in X-Men First
X-Men,
Class.
X-Men First Class. Yep.
You know,
Which
so
also
he
a
got
big that's a big cast as
big
well.
class. Yeah. So
Yeah,
he so
yeah.
you can connect them to a lot of folks.
You can
Right.
connect them to Jennifer Lawrence. You can connect them to why do I keep forgetting my
Fastburn,
man's name? Yeah,
Fastbender.
Michael Fassbender. And what about my man who played Professor X? Why do I keep forgetting his name? The
Oh,
guy who
it's
played Professor X, Charles.
McAvoy.
Yeah, John McAvoy. You know what I'm saying? So with John McAvoy, that connects you. That means you can connect him to Angelina Jolie. Want it? You know what I'm saying? You so it's like it's so easy to connect these people because he's always in a movie. Was he ever in a movie with Angelina Jolie? I'm trying to think now.
I don't think he has been in the movie, Johnny. I don't think
With
he
her.
has been in a movie with Angelina Jolie.
Hmm. Hmm.
But he certainly is connected to her. I mean, like I said,
Yeah.
I mean he's basically connected to everybody. I
Yeah,
mean,
everybody.
I think there's very few actors that of any type of real relevant that can't be connected to Kevin Bacon in some way, shape, or form. I don't think anybody. You know,
Yeah. Like I said,
black, white, male,
when
female. I
when
don't think there's
when,
anybody.
when old girl said Michael Jackson to me, and I connected him in two steps, she was just lost it. She couldn't because she didn't even realize Joe Pesci was in Moonwalker because
Yeah.
she thinking Michael Jackson ain't got many movies. He's only in The Wiz
One movie,
and this
really.
and
I mean,
that.
really,
Yeah,
it's just one.
he was like in The Wiz, and I was like, yeah. I said, well, Moonwalker was a movie. She's like, yeah, but who is in Moonwalker? I was like, Joe Pesci. She was
Mm-hmm.
like,
Well, let me think something. Let's see. Wait a minute. Michael Jackson, right?
hmm
Okay. So
yeah,
Kevin
two
Bacon,
steps,
but
two
the rest of the
degrees, bro.
cast, like Diana Ross.
Oh, you talking about The Wiz?
Yeah, because Diana Ross she's only been in what 3 movies, right?
She was in
Lady Sings the Blues,
Lady Sings the Blues. Yeah,
Mahogany, and The Wiz.
yeah.
So you go to Diana Ross and you go to
Billy D. Williams.
That's what I'm thinking.
Billy D.
Billy.
Williams, and then go to one of the Star Wars movie or Empire Strikes Back.
Wait a minute. So that's Lady Sings the Blues. You go with Billy Williams.
Probably use Harrison Ford. You could probably use Harrison Ford to break out.
Let me. Oh no. Billy D. Williams, and then you go from Billy D. Williams to. Let me see. Billy D. Williams to. What I just said. Oh, Jack Nicholson. That's Batman.
Oh, from Batman, yeah, or
Right.
even
Then
Michael
you
Keaton.
right there. No. Diana Ross to Billy D. Williams because of Lazy and the
Yeah,
Blues, and then from Billy D. Williams to Jack Nicholson for
A Few
Batman,
Good
who
Men.
was in A Few Good Men.
Few Good Men with Kevin Bacon, exactly. See, even that's what I'm saying. It's like it's endless, bro. It's endless. That's how it. This became such a phenomenon that Kevin Bacon knows about it now.
Yeah.
Like when I saw the commercial with him, and what's the matter? What are you mad about? She must have saw some violence on the screen, and she starts tripping out. Um, when you think about it, I'm like, I saw like it was like a Capital One commercial or something. It was one of those American Express or something where he was in the commercial and he was like, yeah, and they're like, oh, you're Kevin Bacon. And then then they would play like 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. He was like, yeah. he said something like, I think he forgot his wallet or something. And he was like, "Hey,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people can vouch for me, because so and so is connected to so and so." Like he had people in there that was connected to him. He was like, "Yeah, they can all vouch for me because he forgot his wallet." So that was funny. I said, even he knows about it. At one point, I don't know if that site is still up. There was a site up that you could connect people to Kevin Bacon, 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. Like they went hard with it, yo. That shit became such a
Yeah.
big phenomenon. Everybody, and now you talk about superhero movies. Now you could connect them to the whole cast of Guardians of the Galaxy because he
Yep.
was just in the Guardians of
I
the
saw.
Galaxy Christmas special.
I watched that. I watched that
Hmm.
yesterday. I was
Yeah,
like, excuse me. I was like,
yeah, it was
okay.
funny. It was
I
funny. I
see where they
mean,
were going with it. I see where they were going to go with it.
yeah,
It was okay.
it was
I
alright.
opened the song. The opening song had me cracking up. This is why I
Yeah,
can't stand Christmas. I was like,
that's
okay, that's
yeah.
supposed to be the new holiday.
That was funny. Yeah. I'm telling you, man. So now you have to add to the fold Chris Pratt, the Palm, what's her name? Palm, whatever her name is, who plays Mantis. You gotta add
Yeah,
Karen Gillian
Batista,
to it. Yeah, Karen Gillian, Batista. You gotta add
Bradley
Michael Rook,
Cooper.
Michael Rooker, Bradley Cooper, and Vin Diesel. Add them all
Yeah,
to the Kevin Bacon list that you can connect them
yeah.
through. So there you go. If that's the case, you could have still did. Now that I think about Vin Diesel, now that I think about Vin Diesel, you could connect him. Uh, when I said Henry Cavill, I could have went the Batman route. I could have went to Henry Cavill with Justice League with Ben Affleck, and Ben Affleck is in Boiler Room with Vin Diesel. You know what I mean? So it's so many different routes you could go. It's probably even a faster route with using Ben
Well, let
Affleck
me
because Ben
see. Let me
Affleck's been
see.
in quite a few movies himself. So I don't think he's
All
ever
right,
been in
so
a movie with Kevin Bacon directly though.
let me see. So Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
You can connect Affleck to Kevin Bacon.
Well, I already said yeah. One step is through Vin Diesel. So you could do it in 2 steps with Vin Diesel
Yeah,
because
Vin Diesel.
him and Vin Diesel was in Boiler Room, and then Vin Diesel now was in the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special with Kevin
Yeah.
Bacon. So that you could do it that way now, much easier. Thanks to that. I mean, I'm sure there's others too, because I'm thinking of some of the um, Ben Affleck movies. But now you got somebody to save you, because see, now you got somebody to save you. Somebody try to get slick with you and say like Kevin Smith or something like that. And you got Ben Affleck to bail you out now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Really, to be honest with you, not
You
just Ben
got Ben
Affleck,
Affleck to bail you out.
because Kevin Smith, when they do them Jay and Silent Bob movies, they have a lot of cameos in those movies. So
That's true.
they have a lot of
That's very
cameos in
true.
them.
The guy, matter of fact, the guy that I'm thinking of, he's in he's in all the Kevin Smith movies. He was the guy that played Leaving My Name Is Earl. That guy. He was
Yeah,
the one
yeah,
that was in
yeah,
The
yeah.
Incredibles. He played the
Oh, he
buddy
did. Yeah,
in The Incredibles.
yeah, that's
But he
him.
certainly is the link.
Definitely
Yeah.
a link. Definitely a
I
link.
just can't think of his name off the top of my head.
I know you
But
talk
yeah,
about too,
he's
because
certainly that link.
he was the one that was in he was the one that was in Chasing Amy with Ben Affleck, right?
He's in Chasing Amy. He's in
Yeah,
Clerks. He's in
he's in pretty much
Jay and
all of
Silent
them.
Bob
Yeah,
Strike Back.
yeah.
Yeah.
Chasing Amy is one of my favorite movies, by the way, by Kevin Smith. It's a great, very underrated movie. I talked to
Man,
all of my actors. I talked to a lot of actors. If you out there listening and watching, if you watch Chasing Amy, is a master class on Chasing Amy is a master class on monologues. If you listen, if you look at Ben Affleck himself is a master of monologues. That's number one. Um, I could give you a bunch of Ben Affleck movies, and you could pick a monologue from one of his movies if if you're into doing monologues, especially when you're doing for auditions. But Chasing Amy has great monologues. Has about 2 or 3 really good monologues. One with the one who played Alyssa, um, when she breaks down that whole thing about when he figures out that she's been she's slept with a lot of people in high school because he thought she was a virgin. He thought she was a virgin and only slept with women, so never slept with men. That's what it was. So not a virgin, but he thought she never slept with men. And when he found out that in high school and college she slept with a lot of men, that whole monologue when she breaks that down to him is awesome.
Yeah.
The monologue that he's in the car with her and he professes his love to her, that is an awesome monologue. That is a really good monologue. And then the guy that we're talking about, the one from My Name Earl or whatever, the part where him and Ben Affleck going back and forth when he does that whole thing about there's a 4-way road between Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, a man-hating dyke, and a and a regular lesbian. Then he like goes to he goes through this whole thing, and that was another good monologue. If you go to Boiler Room, Ben Affleck has one of the best monologues that I've ever heard in Boiler Room when he comes in and talks to
Yeah, he does.
you know what I'm talking about, right? When
He
he's
said,
talking
he said
about
if you got your license, get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. If you already got your class 3 license, get the hell out of here.
Yep, your Series 7 license. He's like, yeah, I passed. I got my Series 7. You can go too. What?
You can go.
He's like, yeah, no, we don't hire brokers here. We train new ones. You know what I'm saying? Gets him out. Come on, Schlep Rock, get out of here. He's like talking to him, then he just goes on this whole thing. This monologue is just crazy. How he just when he talks about I'm a millionaire. Yep, sounds crazy to hear, right? Sounds even crazy for me to say it. I'm a effing millionaire. It's like, it's just the way he goes through that whole monologue in that scene. That's one of the best monologues, man. So you want to get some? I swear, you want to learn about monologues like that. Kevin Smith is good at writing. He didn't write Boiler Room, but he's good at writing monologues too. With his and Chasing Amy was one of the one. Even his monologue as Silent Bob, when he talks about breaks down the meaning of what Chasing Amy means. You know what I'm saying? Even that was a dope monologue. So actors out there, if you're listening, if you see it later in life, go check out Chasing Amy, directed by Kevin Smith, starring Ben Affleck, and you'll see what I mean by there's some great monologues in that movie. I remember one time a woman did an actor, she did a monologue for me. I immediately knew it because I knew Chasing Amy, but I've never seen a female take on the Alyssa monologue talking about that's right. I took 2 guys at once and this that and like she broke that down, and good or bad they were my choices and I'm not gonna apologize to you and this that and went through that, and I was like immediately I loved it because I love Chasing Amy, and I was just like, oh wow, that's an interesting monologue that you chose to.
That's a choice. That's a
good
choice.
That's a good choice. Interesting too, because of the
I
content.
recommend. Yeah, I recommend too. I mean, certainly anything Kevin Costner did in JFK.
Yes.
When he's breaking down the case.
Oh my God, yes. Oh,
I mean, it's so much dialogue. It's not even funny. But I think the one that I would tell people to look at is Al Pacino in Any Given Sunday.
Yeah.
The speech, 1 inch.
1 inch.
I mean,
1 inch.
if you want to know how to talk to somebody or how to talk to the crowd and relay an emotion, give them some energy, and also while putting yourself down at the same time, like he does all that in that 5-minute speech about 1 inch.
Yeah, that's probably one of the best monologues he's ever done. That might be one of the best ones. Another one that would be fun to work with. I ain't gonna say it's his best, but it was fun for him or fun for you to do would be when the one when he played the devil. where he talks about how God,
Oh yeah,
how, he's an absentee landlord and all
how
of
God is.
it.
Yeah,
He breaks that whole thing down.
laughing his ass off.
Yeah, yeah. So that
He's
was
laughing
that.
his ass off.
He's laughing his ass off. Great monologue also by him. That was what was that called? What was the name of
The
that movie?
Devil's Advocate, man.
Devil's
If y'all never
Advocate.
saw the Devil's Advocate, look. If
Yeah.
y'all never saw the Devil's Advocate, go find it. Watch, Al Pacino. Al Pacino in the late '90s, he was rolling. He was rolling between Sin of a Woman and then backing it up with Heat, Any Given Sunday, The Devil's Advocate, and even Dick Tracy to a large degree.
Yeah.
Man, he was chewing it up in Dick Tracy.
He was
But
killing
in the
it.
'90s, man, Al Pacino was rolling. I mean, the guy, even some parts of The Godfather Part 3, particularly when he's talking to the priest, he says, "I murdered I
my
killed
mother's son."
my mother's son," and he's crying.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
damn.
I killed my mother's son. Yep.
Yeah.
That is wow. That's crazy.
He was Al Pacino was doing it in the
Yeah.
'90s.
Yeah.
So if you want to see some real serious acting, Al Pacino, anything he did in the '90s, you're gonna be like, wow, man.
Scent of a woman.
Scent of a woman.
Oh,
I
man.
take a flamethrower to it.
Yeah. He was that bad, yo. Love him. He had a great monologue. Did he have a good monologue in that too? What was
Yeah, that court scene when he was like, I would take a flamethrower. He was just rolling.
He was rolling. And just like what you said about how he was just killing it with the movies. Let's not forget the sleeper movie, Sea of Love.
Yes, Sea of Love.
That was a dope movie.
That
too.
was a good movie that nobody saw coming.
Sleeper. That people like, yo, wait a minute. Yo, that was dope. That was the introduction to me. I mean, she probably been in movies before that, but to me, that's when Ellen Barkin just shot up.
The Big Easy.
Shot up.
Big
Easy. Yeah, Big Easy was her introduction big movie. But I loved her in
Sea of Love.
Sea of Love, man.
She
was great. She was like, Sea of Love. Oh man, yeah, she was that chick, man, and that was a great casting for that with her playing that character.
Yeah,
Ellen Barkin, because she was very
better. Yeah,
mysterious.
I'm gonna tell all y'all, you're out there talking about acting, and you want to see. Go back and look at some of the '90s works that a lot of these actors did.
Yeah,
like Wes just mentioned, Ellen Barkin. I'm looking at Sharon Stone, the whole interrogation scene in Basic Instinct.
Yeah, that is a great.
She's manipulating. She's manipulating everybody in the scene except Michael Douglas.
Manipulating. They were all mesmerized, and in a way, she wasn't really manipulating him, but he was smitten. He was smitten by her.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
She's showing the body, but was getting them was what she was saying. She was going with the like, come on, I really look like I'm that stupid? And it was like, but then she opened her legs. She's like, it was nice. It was. She knew what she was doing.
Great. That was just yeah. I mean, when you look at like I said, Ellen Barkin had that. Her character was that mysterious, sexy, a lot of elements I saw of her. Nothing like, I mean, what do you call it? Really did it. She just really took another level, Sharon Stone, with that. But what I meant is like just that darkness, that sexy, mysterious. I saw those elements in Ellen Barkin and Sea of Love that I kind of, I could put it like this. I don't think she did, but I would believe it if Sharon Stone said she watched that movie before she started creating, her character. You know what I'm saying? Because just certain. Because at one point, you thought Ellen Barkin was the
killer.
Like, it was like,
you really like, hold up, she really is the killer.
Yeah.
But
and when you think about
when
you think about that, a lot of that was so crazy because his character was kind of like. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if the filmmakers from that, was like, yo, because remember he's a cop and he's having this, relationship with her, not knowing thinking that she could be, because she was a person of interest.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
All the signs is pointing to her. She was the one, and I'm up here having sex with her in my apartment, and she's killing people.
She's killing people,
and I'm just falling for it. I'm next.
He's like, I'm next. Yeah, exactly. He could have very well been next, and he, so I could see if even if you want to say, Paul Verhoeven or any of these other filmmakers from that might have been like, there's a little element of Sea of Love in there. I can see it, because that scene right there is just like, it's just more intense. That scene ain't nothing. When you think about it, if you strip it down, it's nothing more than the scene with Michael Douglas and Sharon Stone, except that was just more intense. It went deeper. It was more intense. But he was in that sex scene with her, not knowing if he was going to live or die. Yep. And that's how Al Pacino's character felt when he was having sex with her in the apartment. He's like, yo, you know what I'm saying? He's sitting there like, oh, so that was very well done the way they did that. You know what I'm saying? He's sitting there like, yo, I'm here in the middle of this sexing with this woman, and straight up, I don't know if she gonna kill me or not.
She gonna
remember he literally tried to frisk her, remember?
Yeah.
When she came to him and she had, that was bad. When she showed up at his apartment and she just had nothing but the trench coat on, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had that, or was that at that was at like the grocery store or something. She walked up
the grocery store.
Yeah, she had
this with the trench coat on.
Yeah, come on, son. This is what I'm talking about. Them movies with. Remember when we did our sex scene show? I told you the scene from that was one of my favorites. That was one of my favorites because of the way it was lit, the way it was lit, the way it was done. It was sexy. It was well done. It didn't have to be. It did not have to be graphic. It did not have to be raunchy for it to be one of the best sex scenes in cinema, in my opinion, because of the way it was done, the way it was lit. And it was hot. A sex scene needs to be hot, not just graphic,
not raunchy.
Right. Not it don't raunchy. Have to be like even it don't have to be Monsters Ball. It don't have to be that. It don't have to be it can be what it is. Like I said, Sea of Love. And I also used 9.5 Weeks when they were in the alleyway with the rain. Like, it was all silhouetted mostly, but it was sexy. You know what I'm saying? It was dope. Yeah, that's.
I would throw Jada Pinkett Smith and Alan Payne and Jason's Lyric. That when they go back to his store in the rain.
That was good.
I throw that scene up there.
That was good.
And not for nothing, because I was looking at, I would even throw the brief sex scene, if you want to call it, in Pretty Woman, when she actually kissed him for the first time and wakes him up.
Yeah.
It was just sweet. It was
sweet. Yeah, it was. It was something that she clearly said that she didn't do.
Did not want to do.
And didn't want to do. He respected that, whatever. But it was just, that scene was very good. Very good scene. Like I said, those scenes that are just when it just goes so well with the story. That's what makes it good, sexy. Just gratuitous sex is not not my thing. That's the reason why, like, let's be honest. It was a good, nice little sex scene if you want to look at Monsters Ball or whatever. But that was gratuitous sex for me. That sex scene didn't have to.
The second one is actually this, but the second one. That was the better sex scene when she's broken. She said, "I just need someone to take care of me," and he gives her oral, and you just see the expression on her face, like, and she was like, "I wasn't expecting that,
one. Right?
But I needed that. I needed someone to cater to me for a change, not me catering to them.
Right?
That's the best scene. I actually think that's the scene that got her the Oscar, not the first sex scene. This one.
Right. That scene was more prevalent to the story than the first one, than the first sex scene. Me. Meaning, like, the first sex scene could or could not have been there. You know what I mean? And I understand, I just want to feel good, make me feel good, blah, blah, blah. I get it. But to me, the one you're talking about makes more sense, I think. to the story of what she was going through at the
Yeah.
time in the Senate. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean. Yeah, I agree with you on that one. That one probably
And hell,
like if they would have just had that scene in there. I mean, yeah,
it would.
it would have
I
been
think
fine.
she still would have got the Oscar. I think she
Yeah.
still would have got the Oscar, and I
Yeah.
certainly would count from the '90s Demi Moore and Patrick Swayze in Ghost. I mean,
Very,
man,
very much.
man,
That scene
who?
became iconic. Everybody
Yeah,
started doing parodies of it, and even Snoop and
the Naked
Martha
Gun.
Stewart. Even Snoop and Martha Stewart did a parody in that. Snoop Dogg and
Yeah,
Martha Stewart did a parody of that ghost scene. You know what I'm saying? Like on some sort of commercial song. So yeah, the Naked Gun, all of that. Once you be, that's just like with Weird Al Yankovic. Which, on a side note, I think people should try to go on the Roku channel and watch the Weird Al Yankovic
yeah,
story. It's very, very well done. But if you was parodied by Weird Al Yankovic, you knew you was a star at that point. You knew you had hits. You had a hit if he wanted to parody you. So it's just like that. If the Naked Gun or one of these movies get a parody of your scene, then you knew it was iconic. That was an iconic scene because those two had such great on camera chemistry. And the funny thing is,
yeah,
they were barely on camera together throughout the movie, except for without him being a ghost. You know what I'm saying? Like they barely had any
yeah,
scenes together in the movie, but you still that chemistry, you could feel it through the screen. You can feel that chemistry through the screen. And that is what I'm talking about. That is something that is not, you can't rehearse that, you can't teach it. It just has to be there. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? It just has to be there. And that chemistry between her and him in the small little time that they had together in Ghost was my, that's what made people feel so emotional with the whole fact that it's like, yeah, I'm here but I'm not here. I see you but I can't touch you.
hmm
I can't be with you, stuff like that. So yeah, so that's pretty much that. But anyhow, I mean, we're gonna have to probably push our tournament until, I do want to talk a little bit before we go about the because I did have it slated on here about Will Smith's film, his new film coming out. And I hear you.
Don't
I
want.
hear
I'm
you.
not interested.
Right, right, yeah. So yeah, and I said from the beginning, um, the movie, wait 1 second. The movie is not, I don't like slavery films. I never did. So that's the one thing that I'm a little bit weary about. I don't like, I've never liked slavery films. Right? Never liked slavery films. Um, let's see. What did he say? Not all wanted Weird Al Yankovic to do a song parody of their songs. No, you're right. You're right, Joseph. Even I remember Coolio, rest in peace, Coolio. Coolio did not like the parody of his song Gangsta Paradise. I think he learned to live with it, and he started accepting it after the fact. But he really was a little insulted by it, which he didn't realize, to be honest with you. And Weird Al Yankovic does a parody of song, man. Just laugh with it and go with it. You know what I mean? Because your song must have really been prevalent. You know what I mean at that time, or else he would have never did a parody of it. So yeah, he's definitely um not everybody loved him doing their songs, but when you think about it, if you were anybody, if you weren't or you didn't think you were anybody, and Weird Al Yankovic does your song, you're somebody. So that's all I'm saying. Um, and that's all I'm gonna leave it at. But anywho, we are, unfortunately, we didn't have Kev today, so we're going to have to do our tournament because we need that third person to so it's not, someone's got to be a tiebreaker. But what I will do is set up. I will go over the battles that we are going to do next week. I'll go over it and set up this particular round while I'm here. We'll set up the round and we will do it next week. So I don't know what order it's going to be done in, but this is the Elite Eight of the hottest TV actresses of all time. And it's down to 8 elite hopefuls to go into the final 4 and then into the final 2. So now, since we're not doing it this week, we'll do this round of the Elite 8, and then we're going to have to turn right around and do the final 4. So once I'm just going over what this round was going to be so we know for next week. And then right from there, we're going to have to, hopefully, if you have these people seated, then we'll be able to go right into the final 4, based on the
Oh yeah, we
winners.
go. Yeah, but Joseph, I was thinking about you. You see this book right here? I got the next tournament in this book right here. The next one for Black History Month, top 64 ethnic stars. I have 63 stars. I need one more.
You need one more?
One more. I'm dead serious.
Y'all this is for movie? Is this movie stars?
This is strictly movies. You see right here? You see top 64, right? There's right here. There's 46 names right there. And then right here, I got 63. I got one more spot. I just don't know who's the last spot. But this is Black History Month. This one.
Yeah. Right. Set that one up.
Now we had.
We gotta make sure we get them all seated into.
They're going to be all seated. Now we had a couple of people that we had in this battle that we didn't put in there because they were considered movie stars.
Right. Did you move them? Yeah. Okay. You moved them there, so that means Gabrielle Union. Gabrielle Union should be in there.
She's in
Megan
there.
Good should be in there.
Right.
Who else did we move out? Because they're movie stars now.
Those two. I think I also moved out.
I thought there was one more, but she may not have been an ethnic actor.
Yeah, I think that other person wasn't. Right now, I know there's always got to be rules. So the main rule is basic rules that you had to be at least 18 years old because we can't be lusting over no kitty.
Right.
But you also had to do at least 5 movies.
Okay.
Because sometimes you see a girl, she's in one movie, then you never see her again.
You never see them again.
So I had to put it like everybody in here has at least 5 movies under their theatrical releases under their belt. Right.
Every theatrical.
Everyone. Releases. So I just, like I said, I got one more person to add. I just don't know who that last person is just yet. Actually, I take it back. I might have had to add her because ethnicity also includes Spanish. So we got some Spanish women in here. Latina, got a little Latino. So yes, definitely. Jennifer Lopez is in this thing. I put her in here because I say she's a movie star. She's a movie star. Right. But this one right here. This is February, Black History Month. We're gonna do this one. Right. And then after that, I ain't on no more list. I'm done with this 64 crap. I can't be doing these battles. It's like I feel like I'm playing fantasy women league, and I gotta figure out. I gotta be scouting people and. Okay, I'm gonna answer that question, Joseph, that you just said. Is Anika Noni Rose on this list? Yes, she is. Right. Certainly Halle Berry. Certainly Sanaa Lathan. Golden Brooks is not on this movie list because she is not a movie star, and I would have to look to see if she's even done a theatrical movie. So she very well may not be on this list. But I'll look, and if she meets the qualifications, I'll consider putting her on the list.
So that means what you call it probably just made the list because she got about maybe 5 or 6 films. Vanity.
Yes, Vanity does make the list because she actually had, I think she had about 8 movies on the list. So yes, Vanity made the list.
Yeah. Okay.
Any of the beautiful black actresses from the Black Panther movie? Well, of course. How am I going to forget about Angela Bassett
Pretty much all of
and
them.
Lupita Nyong'o?
Oh my God, yo, look,
She's on.
bro,
That's gonna be a
Lapita,
sleeper.
not
She gonna be a
yo,
sleeper.
she is going to, she might go deep
She gonna
because
be a sleeper.
that is a bad woman, bro.
Who knew she had ass
Yeah,
like that? I'm just
yo,
saying. I was
bro,
like,
I do.
but
I'm like, I
like when
do. When I
when
seen
she's
it.
standing there on the beach and they're doing the slow mo around her body, like, yo.
Yeah, she got even in super shape for this
Mm-hmm.
one, and the funny thing is like it all curves all the way in the waistline, and
Yeah.
it just curves all the way back out with the top.
Now,
Stop,
not
man.
to divulge everybody knows, but I think the other person that we took off the list was Rosario Dawson. She's
Yeah,
on
yeah, yeah,
this
yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah. We took Rosario off the list too. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, we took her off the list. That's true. And I'm glad she's in this one. She belongs in there too. So
Yeah,
it's
she
gonna be, I'm
belongs
sure
in.
there's a lot, and you just
If
mentioned one
if there is
person.
somebody, because I mean, realistically, we're not just in February, so I'm putting if there is somebody who you can think of that I legitimately could not think of. I thought of 63. I just got one more to go. So someone that you can think of saying, Ralph, what about this person? Let me know. I'll look them
Yeah.
up and say, could
Yeah.
she fit in there? Because there's like, I think there's maybe one person I would consider taking off anyway. She really is.
Yeah.
Right.
Would
So
you consider taking off? You said.
yeah, I would consider taking her off because I'm like, I think she is a stretch, but for right now she is on here. But if she has to come off, I'll be more than happy to take her off. There's a couple other
Right.
people up here.
Yeah,
That
you gotta you send me a list and we can put it all together. We gotta do these seedings right, bro. They gotta be set up where like almost like the brackets, seating for the east, west, north, south, seating for each set of brackets. So that way who's number ones and who's this. So before we get out of here, I'm just gonna show everyone what is next week's round. Not really doing it in order. I'm just showing people the joints. So obviously, right here we got Pamela Anderson. This is the Elite Eight, and the winners. There will be 4 winners, and those winners will be the Final Four, and then we'll go into the Final Four the same day. Oh, just one another thing. I mentioned this at the top of the show. I don't know if you was on yet. I'm planning an end of the year show. I want to get a lot of our people just check-ins. I want to get some check-in guests. I want the guests to come back that's been on our show. A couple of just check in with us. We check in with them, see what they doing, whatever, and kind of like make it a fun type of deal for our last show of the year. I definitely want to get Rayon. I want to get Rayon on because his show, the show that he's going to be on, starting at the top of the year. Now, yeah, it's starting like January, whatever, like the first Sunday in January.
Right.
So, we could try to get him on the Monday after, but I think he's going to probably be really busy at that point. So let's try to get him on before, if possible. Maybe that last show we get him on. So just letting you know, we're gonna plan a nice little get some of the people that's been on the show before to check in, even real quick. So okay, so we got Pamela Anderson, Baywatch versus Lucy Lawless, Xena the Warrior Princess. Then we have who's next after that? There's Felicia Rashad versus Garcelle Bouval. Then we have Bernadette stands against from Good Times against Lisa Bonet, A Different World. Bernadette, she hung in there. She's been around. She hung in there.
She in the Elite Eight.
She's in the Elite Eight. Then you got Trisha Heffer, as I call her.
You need to stop. Put some respect on that girl's name.
And Trisha Heffer. Battles her against Jennifer Love. Huge. No, let me start it. As they called her on what you call it? Jennifer Love Huge, dude. No, Jennifer Love Hewitt, and from the client list, and that's the Elite Eight. So these are the ones that I'm gonna be honest with you, and yes, she's definitely very attractive. I'm surprised both of them went this deep. I'm a little surprised that both of them got this far.
I gotta
More
admit,
so, more so her than her. More so Trisha Helfer than Jennifer Love Hewitt, because Jennifer Love Hewitt got a lot of stuff under her belt. You know, she's got quite a bit of shows on her belt. She's truly a TV star because she's been in a lot of big shows throughout her career. So I'm not as surprised with her. She's definitely a sleeper. Bernadette Staines is definitely a sleeper because she, a lot of people maybe I'm a little surprised she went this far, but depending on her matchups.
Bernadette, I must admit, I am actually stunned that
Yeah.
Bernadette went this far.
Yeah,
Because I mean, Thelma, even though we look at Bernadette Staines and we say, "Wow," Thelma on Good Times was never portrayed in a sexy way. She never was.
Wasn't.
But
Never was.
The impact she has had on culture is undeniable. It's
undeniable. It is. It is. You're right. She was never portrayed sexy. Good job by them. They never tried to portray her like that because she was always trying to, being portrayed as a younger, the sister, not younger, but she was supposedly like that. Like they just didn't want to go that route. That wasn't what they was trying to write. So yeah. And the funny thing is, Denise always was just once again, Lisa Bonet, you look at her, they didn't portray Denise as the sexy daughter either. You know what I mean? That's why, this is a good matchup. But they kind of played, I don't say they played the same type of character, but I mean like you said, neither one of their characters was sexualized or anything like that. Cosby wasn't gonna do that. And they didn't do it in a different world.
See that picture, you see what's in the background of that picture, what it says.
Hillman College.
Yep.
Hillman College. She got, and on her shirt, she got a Hillman shirt on.
Hillman College.
Yeah. Yeah. Hillman College is the college, the college that everybody wanted to go to and realized it didn't exist. I want to go to Hillman, the black college. I want to go to Hillman. Hillman doesn't exist. So then of course this is a good battle. Neither one of them I'm not surprised made it this far. Not just for their looks, but for their impact on culture, pop culture. Xena Warrior Princess was a big impact. So this is a battle that isn't it isn't surprising. You know what I mean? Like something like this. Not to me. It's not surprising. She could have ended up with anybody against her being Pamela Anderson. But I mean, I think it's a good battle for this one. Mm-hmm. And then and here I'm not sure. I mean, if we was just going on looks, yeah, I could see Fancy getting this far. You know what I mean? If we were just going on looks. But because we have our other criteria, but she made it, so
yeah, she
big up to her.
And I be thinking about that. I still think that Garcelle Beauvaux's Fancy, right? Mm-hmm. She does have an impact on the culture because I mean, and I thought about it, she's actually Haitian with rocking an American accent.
Yeah,
I can't think of anybody else. And every once in the blue moon to spice up their romance on that, she would flip into the Jamaican accent.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of anybody else on television that ever did that.
Patois, yeah. I'm not Patois. I mean, Creole.
Yeah, Creole. I can't think of anybody else that actually did that I can legitimately think of that said, "Wow, they really did that." So it's for me, it's just that it's But we'll discuss that next week. We'll discuss that.
Yeah.
Can she beat Miss Rashad?
I mean, anything's possible, man. I mean, Felicia is definitely always, her and Pam has always been the heavy favorites because of their huge impacts on the cultures from their perspectives. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? They've always been heavy favorites. It's possible that they may end up in the finals against each other, or at least the final four. You never know. But the bottom line is, yeah, I mean, Garcella belongs here. She made it here fair and square. So
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be interesting. Gonna be interesting, and whereas once again, I'm kind of pleased to say, with the exception of, I have to say, Garcella definitely, Fancy was definitely sexualized, a little bit. Um, but she was still classy with it because her
Mm-hmm.
character was like, she was the one that Jamie was always chasing. She was, whatever. But out of all of them, she was the one that wore, let's just say, the most revealing stuff. I mean, all of the black women that are left in this competition are all still hot, sexy, whatever you want to call it, but they never were very revealing with their characters on their
Right.
shows. You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of ebony,
You know what?
in
Yeah.
the Elite Eight.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Let's give credit where credit is due, people. Give the council some credit, man. We got, these women are in here. They're in the Elite Eight. At least half of them are probably gonna make it to the Final Four. So now you
Mm-hmm.
got, women that were so put it like this. It ain't it isn't just a meat market with us.
No.
We're actually looking at everything. You know what I mean? We could have easily, this competition could have been over a long time ago by we just putting up the pictures and be like, okay, she's hotter than her. Let's go. You know what I mean? Excellent. Just by looks. So you know what?
Mm-hmm.
Give the council a little credit. We got these women here. They're here and they made it. And these women, although they are, you know, they were not sexualized in their characters. They were not, and they're right here in the Elite Eight, right there, sad as straw, moving forward. And that's what I'm saying, man. Because you can't win this. The funny thing is, it's very difficult to move ahead in this competition on one attribute alone.
Yeah.
If you're gonna say looks, yeah, I mean it's just got to be some. You can't really say that because I mean, as far as looks go, I mean, hell, one of the people that I met in person, I think is one of the most beautiful people that I've ever seen. It's not. She's been eliminated. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's Rosa Sanchez. You know what I'm saying? And she's been eliminated. So, yeah.
My
This is
choice was eliminated in the first round. Priyanka Chopra. I thought she'd be
right.
in the
Yeah,
top
I
8.
thought she would too. If it was just on looks, then she would have went deeper. She would have went deeper. It's just that she just doesn't have. She had a great impact. Now, as we already told that, even though Kev used to deny it, we know that she did have a big impact when she came in that show and stuff like that, and her being a Bollywood actress and stuff like that. She had a big impact from those fronts, but it just wasn't enough to take her forward. Against who she came up against and stuff like that. So,
True.
you
Hey,
know,
wait a minute. One second. Hey, Joseph, you know what? That's someone who I didn't consider. You know what? She feel. He said, "What about Ray Dawn Chong?" I never
Hmm.
considered her,
Hmm.
but you know what? She's number 64.
There you
Right
go. There you
there, you
go,
go.
Joseph.
Ray
You have
Dawn
the
Chong.
winner. We have a winner here. We have a winner here. Where's he had it? He's at Ray Don Chan right there. Yeah. Good job, Joseph.
That is a
Because
really good choice. A
that's a good
really good
choice because
choice.
she was the ish at one
She in
point
the 80s. She
in
was
the
that girl.
80s.
She
She
was
was
that
that
girl.
girl. Because she was that girl in the 80s, man. I love, what about when I think of Ray Dog Chug, I think of a lot of stuff. But one of my favorite scenes from a Ray Dog Chug movie she was in. You promised you'd never tell.
Yeah.
When she just went and chased it. That was Tales from the Dark Side. No,
Yeah,
Tales from the
Tales
Dark
from the
Side.
Dark Side. Yeah.
Tales from the Dark Side, the movie. You promised you'd never tell. He's like, yo, what? I was like, whoa, Radon Chung is here.
You know what,
That
man?
was
That
crazy.
that that was like, damn. When she said, "I love you too." but you broke your promise.
Broke your promise. Now you gotta die.
Now you gotta die. And I was like, damn. And even in that scene, he's like, I really don't want to do this. Why are you making me do this?
Yeah.
You know, like, man, that was sad. Good scene, but sad.
Great scene. Yeah.
Yeah.
They had kids. The damn kids turned the gargoyles and everything else. Like, what the hell's going on up in here? But yeah, good job, Joseph. Thanks for bringing up Ray Don
Yes.
John. She's definitely in there. I mean, she was definitely hot too. Freaking Commando.
Soul
I loved
Man.
her. Soul
Clan
Man.
of the Cave
her.
Bear.
Yeah, I loved her Commando, man. That was great. You know.
Yeah, so I have my 64.
All right.
64. Now we're gonna, I don't know. Should I tell y'all who's on the list? I might have to keep that quiet for right now.
Ray Don Chung, boy, she was there.
So you guys can go back and look at the video. That's all you get. That's all you get. That's all you get for the day.
What's all we get?
That's all you get for the day.
Oh God!
That's all you get. So you can go back and freeze the video, so you can see who was on it. Like, oh, okay.
Screenshot.
Like I said, I have, but like I said, I have one other person who I would really consider taken off this list. Although I like her on the list, but if she came off, it wouldn't upset me. Everybody, but the other 63, they ain't going nowhere. They ain't going nowhere. And I'm looking on my pad. There's gonna be some outs, some real tough outs. This is really
This really was gonna be
cutthroat.
This is gonna be This is gonna be super.
It's gonna get real bloody.
It's gonna be blood everywhere. It's gonna be blood everywhere.
It's gonna be blood on the. We might have to play the Michael Jackson song, "Blood on the Dance Floor." It's gonna be blood on the floor.
Blood on the dance floor.
Blood on the floor.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
And this time, this time ain't gonna be no cleaning up. There's gonna be no lifelines. You out. Out.
You done. That's it. You
done. It's a wrap.
Yeah, I love putting Ray Don Chung in there, man.
I'm really feeling good about that one.
Really feeling good about that one. She might go. You got Beat Street. I loved her in that. Of course, The Color Purple. Remember, she was in that. Got beat up by Oprah. Beat that ass.
Oprah dragged that.
She got it. Yeah, you said
she doesn't do much anymore. She was a
The Principal. Remember The Principal?
Yeah, The Principal.
That's a sleeper.
That was a good movie too.
That was a
good movie.
That was a great movie. Yo, God rest my mother's soul, man. Me and my mother used to watch that movie all the time. We loved that movie, Principal. Yo,
that was a really good movie. I really liked that movie.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
When she got beat up, I was like, "No, you can't beat up Ray Don Chung. I'm trying to rape her."
Yeah, that was messed up. You can't beat up Ray Don Chung, man. Can't do that. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a great one. I think to give you a break, Ralph, I'll probably work on the music one. Well, I was talking about the theme. Was we talking about the theme music or something like that? I was talking about doing. I might work on.
Oh, theme music.
Yeah,
man, that's gonna
be
another tough. Television. That's another tough one, man.
That's a tough one.
Why today I was flipping through the channels and I heard the Batman theme music. I was like, Batman, and it was the '60s. It was the Batman movie, but the Batman. It's like, okay, okay.
So many right off the top. You already know off the dome. So many gonna be if we just do a television because we already did the one for movies, didn't we? We did that already. Yeah, we did movies. But television theme song. Wow, that's gonna be crazy. That one's gonna be. I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna attempt to put that one together. You're gonna have the classics. You're gonna hear Taxi. You're gonna hear Cheers. Everybody knows your name.
I think we gotta have the only rules that it's gotta be something original. Like I would put Bosom Buddies up there, but it ain't original to Bosom Buddies. Same thing. And
Yeah,
I want to sit there and say,
had to be written for the song, or either put there or written for the show. Cause what you call
yeah,
it now?
like I want
Does that include the Friends one? Was that written for the show?
that's written for the show.
That was written for the show.
That
Okay.
that was written for that was actually written for
Okay,
the
so
show.
then that
But
that
I'm
includes
thinking
that.
about the song to the greatest American hero. Believe it or
Yeah,
not,
yeah, that
I
was written for
think
the
that's
song.
written for the TV show.
It
I
was. I
want to.
think it was too. I'm almost sure it was.
Oh, the theme
Um,
song from Fame, and that's rest in peace, Irene
Irene, rest
Cara.
in peace, Irene Cara. Fame, that in my mind, on my list, that goes deep because that's just. I wanted to say so. I didn't get a chance to. I wanted to say I didn't. I'm just gonna paraphrase because I didn't. I wanted to ask his permission because I'm friends on Facebook with Kwame, right?
Hmm.
And Kwame, the rapper, the producer, stuff like that. But he made he did a post about Irene Cara and Fame. I'm gonna just paraphrase some of the things that he said. But he says he brought some stuff out about the show Fame and how much of an impact that had and made. And he brought
Yeah,
some points out that was really, really, I'm glad that he brought to a lot of people's attention and reminded me of. So he says, this is my number one all time favorite film, right? He's talking about the film, period. This film made in 79, dropped in 80, exposed us to many things that are prevalent today. It showed fame isn't guaranteed, even with massive talent. And it touched on opioid addiction, LGBT
hmm
awareness, race,
hmm
socioeconomic diversity, white privilege, literacy, mental health, Me Too movement, all that stuff. He's like all in the pursuit of fame and without pushing any agendas. That alone,
that's
what he
very
said.
profound.
That's
Profound.
very profound what he just said. I got big up to Kwame, what I mean, for saying that. I'm reading that strictly off of his Facebook post, and I was like, bro, that needed to go. Like everyone needs to hear this because that's the truth, and you didn't even realize it until the moment he said it. He
Hmm.
said you did all of those things, and did it without pushing any agendas, right? And he says here, I'm not talking just about the impact of the film had on me my whole life or because of, Miss Cara passing. And he said, any and every interview I do, there isn't a moment. He's like, I give this film, Irene Cara, Lee Curry, and Gene Anthony Ray, their props. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he talks about that. He talks about when he was growing up, he thought he was the Black Bruno, Bruno Martelli from Fame, because he played piano and stuff like that. And he went to LaGuardia College. You know what I mean? He made it into LaGuardia for dancing.
High school.
Yeah, yeah, college, yeah, high school. LaGuardia High School for dance. You know what I'm saying? So these are the type of things that but that first paragraph that he says, and I'll say the last part again. He said, "Yo, it showed fame isn't guaranteed, even with massive talent. It touched on opioid addiction, LGBT awareness, race, socioeconomic diversity, white privilege, literacy, mental health, Me Too movement, all in the pursuit of fame and without pushing any agendas." That's crazy. Good job
Hmm.
by Kwame by bringing that to our attention, because that's what that film did. And after that, the show carried it on. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And they touched on all of that stuff within the film and the show. Once again, Debbie Allen in the midst of all of that stuff, and it just was it was awesome. So that But that song, that theme song, to me, uh, one of the best theme songs that you can do is a song that takes you right to a moment in the movie. And Irene Cara has at least two songs like that: Fame and What a Feeling. You know what I'm saying? The Flashdance, What a Feeling. That's another one that takes you right to the moment of the movie when she's dancing to that song.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And
My my
that's
my
one of the
third the third
best what's one of the best climaxes of the 80s. That scene
yeah.
where she just wins them over and she's dancing and doing all these crazy did all this. Yo, that was a profound moment. To this day, I wrote a film that I had that in my mind when I wrote. I had to, like I was inspired by that film, what if Flashdance, and I wrote a film. I wrote actually a dance film, and I was like, it was inspired. I inspired to write it because of that. But she has two songs that does that, and both of those songs will be in this tournament. You know what I'm saying? Irene Cara will have at least two songs in in the tournament. Yeah, both of them. Well, I can't really do Flashdance because that's for the movies. It's gonna have
Yeah.
to be just Fame. You know what I mean? Because we're doing TV series, so Fame will be in there. So
Mm-hmm.
so many of them. That's gonna bring you right there. Great, 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 great TV theme songs. Cheers, like we said. All in the Family. These all like automatically you can't hear that song because the actual cast is singing it, so you can't even hear that song without thinking about them two sitting on the piano. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? It's just like it's just synonymous with the song and the show. Them two sitting on the piano because they're actually singing it. So
Now,
yeah,
question. Now, our theme song, does it
mhm.
actually have to have lyrics, or is it also instrumental stuff?
I thought about that. I'm still thinking about that, and I think we'll have instrumentals. I'm trying to stay away from a lot of instrumentals, but if it was just so impactful,
Like The
like
Simpsons,
like
like
The
The Simpsons,
Simpsons, right? Like The Simpsons,
Honeymooners.
like Taxi, like The Honeymooners. They're like so impactful. You gotta put Mash. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta
Mm.
put, like you have to put a.
But Mash actually has lyrics. There are
Does
lyrics to
it?
that. Yeah,
Okay.
because same thing with Fame. They took the theme song from the movie and used it
Mm-hmm.
for TV show. But it's called uh
It actually has
I think it's
lyrics.
called
Okay.
Suicide is a Stranger, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
Mm-hmm.
actual name of the song, but they just took and
Okay.
used the instrumental because in the movie they used the full length version. But there is
Gotcha.
words to that song.
Okay. That's interesting to find. I'll look more into that. But still, stuff like that, I feel like kind of has to, kind of has to be in it, even though it's just, you just got to. It's got to be in it. But I want to stick with some because I love about the theme songs with the lyrics because people don't realize how hard that is to write a song
No.
for a show. That is hard, man. And because you're telling a story in the song. You're basically like a good theme song basically introduced you to the show and the premise of the show and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes the characters. You think about Different Strokes, it tells the whole story basically, you know. Um you think about the lyrics to that, you think about the lyrics even to Gilligan's Island, it actually tells you the whole setup of the show. And so it's the same as the Brady Bunch. Sets up the show. It sets up if you've never watched the Brady Bunch ever in your life, as long as you watch the intro of the song, you know what the show's about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, okay. These two was divorced and then they got married. Now their families are together. They're one. Brady Bunch. Okay. I get it. You know what I'm saying? and you go from there. He had three boys, she had three girls. You got this one, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, youngest one in girls. Okay, I get it. You know what I mean? So there you go. But you know now you're ready for anything because you know about the show now, right?
Right.
Right there. I mean, like I said, Different Strokes kind of did that. You know, um, Cheers. You want to go where everybody knows your name. What happens when Norm walks in? Everyone yells his name out. No. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know. So that's what the premise of Cheers is. It's a bar that everybody it's just a bar that regulars they go there, they're there all the time, they all know each other. Everyone knows everyone in Cheers.
Right.
That's all you need to know to set you up to watch the show. So that's what I mean. Like I said, Gilligan's Island literally tells the entire story of how they got there. Because if you never saw Gilligan's Island ever before in your life, and you turned it on and you missed the theme song, you're gonna be like, "What the hell? Where are these people? How'd they get here? Like when?" And they never really talk about how they got there because it's talked about in the theme song.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
everything
saying?
he knows in the theme song.
They're like, wait a minute. Well, why are these people on this desert island? What's going on? How did they get there? Are they ever gonna get off? You know, like stuff like that. You're thinking all
Yeah.
this stuff, and you're like, I'm gonna tell you exactly how you got there. Just play the theme song. Play the beginning of the show. And not only it tells you how they got there, it introduces all the characters
Yeah.
in the theme song. So you're sitting there, if you came in the middle of Gilligan's Island, you're gonna be like, who is this guy? Who's this guy right here? Who's this chick? Oh yeah, okay. But if you watch the theme song, oh, that's Marianne. You know what I'm saying? And they were added last. Professor and Marianne, they were added
Hmm.
later. So anyhow, well, that's what we got in store. Also, before the end of the year, I'll be having I don't say my big, but I'm gonna be having our special. I'm gonna be bringing in the cast of Playing Dirty. I'm gonna be bringing in the cast of Groupie. Two different shows, obviously, but yeah, I'm right now making my calls and my rounds and trying to get in touch with, especially with Playing Dirty. I haven't been in contact with them in a long time. I'm in contact with most of them through social media. And now that they know that Playing Dirty will be coming out this year, later, probably in December. So I do want to get them, do a little push. We're gonna get Kiki on and a lot of the cast members and as many cast members as possible. They're all kind of scattered and doing their own thing, which is good. They do their thing, keep at it. But we're gonna get y'all on the show. Even if it's not all at once. You know what I mean? If we can,
Right.
pretty much break it up if we have to. You know what I mean? If I can get Zasha on and a few other people on that same show, fine. I may not be get them all on at one time. It depends on schedules and stuff like that. So we'll go from there. And then of course the cast of Groupie, which I am in complete contact with. As a matter of fact, we're in a whole group chat on Instagram. So all I got to do is put that in the Instagram group chat. Like, hey, this is the date. I need y'all on the show. So that's pretty much that. So I could bring the whole cast on from that. Give them enough time. I'll set the date up for sometime in December, and that'll give them enough time to make sure them dates are cleared, and we can all come on and promote the show. Hopefully by then it'll be live on Tubi. So
Yo, not for nothing. We have a first episode viewing party, a live one on
yeah,
air.
yeah, that'd be great. That'd be awesome. I'm with that. As a matter of fact, me and India, shout out to India Morel, of course. India talked to me about they actually want to host something like that for us. To have, kind of like a viewing party or launch party or something like that, and they want to do it on their platform and interview the different artists and the different actors and filmmakers and whatever, so I thank her for that, India, and I definitely still want to take you up on that. But yeah, we're gonna go crazy and have them everywhere. So when we do that, we gotta promote everything everywhere. So that's it, man. So we'll get up with y'all next week and it definitely goes down next week. I'm sure Kev will be back. Even if for whatever reason he couldn't be here, we'll get like Heaven Hollywood or somebody to fill in
Yeah.
for him, and then we'll do it. You know what I mean? So there you go. We'll have somebody on it. Maybe we even bring back. I do want to do. We're gonna do a show. I want to do a show for my actors. A lot of actors watch this show, so I am gonna do a show. We're gonna do a show that's kind of like based on acting and filmmakers getting your film distributed, stuff like that. I want to bring Tony Perez back. AJ Perez, bring him back because he is
Yeah,
a
how he
distribution
doing?
guy. Oh, he's
How,
doing his thing, man. He's doing his thing. Definitely want to get him back on. Shout out to him. And like I said, we'll set up these shows. We'll have some nice surprises for everybody. All right, y'all. We're gonna be out of here. And we will thank you for joining us, Joseph, everyone who came through the chat room. We appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good night. Peace and love.
dude.